We're gonna turn you over about halfway through. Switch sides.
Welcome, everyone. Bienvenidos todos to the El Rancho Unified regular meeting of May 16th, where we are returning from closed session. A couple of reminders and housekeeping. Reminder to please turn and silence your cell phone. The meeting is being recorded and live streamed. Si necesita traducción, la señora María Hernández está presente para ayudarnos. Ms. Hernandez is back at the corner. Thank you. And the restrooms are located in the K building. Okay, we started our meeting with a mission statement, and I want to reopen the meeting with our vision statement. We are committed to being a dynamic and innovative learning community that prepares each and every student for success now and in the future. Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and do item 5A, roll call. Members of the administrative cabinet, Dr. Marco Villegas.
Present.
Thank you, Dr. Villegas. Can you take over?
Of course. Dora Soto Delgado,
Present.
Jasmine Chavez Diaz,
Present.
Isela Castañón,
Present.
Virginia Kelson,
Present.
Dean Cochran. Present.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and move on to item 5B, Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Villegas, can you lead us in the pledge?
Absolutely. We all please stand. And put your right hand over your heart, we face the flag. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Villegas. We'll move on to item 6A, adoption of the agenda. Are there any changes?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Villegas and President Mejia. I would like to direct your attention to item 16, F6, number 6. We would like to correct the year listed as 2022 to 2023. Item 16, F7, 1C. We would like to pull the item Chief Business Officer. Item 16F7 1D. I would like to insert the name Antonio Hernandez Jr. Item 16F7 1E. I would like to insert the name Albert Carrillo. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kelson. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved. Second.
Okay, moved by trustee LaFarga, seconded by trustee Contreras. We'll go ahead and vote. Dr. Marino? Yes. Trustee LaFarga?
Yes.
Trustee Contreras?
Yes.
Trustee Perez? Yes. Mejia votes yes. Motion carries 5-0. We'll go ahead and move on to item, we'll go on to item 7, report of actions taken in closed session. Dr. Villegas?
At this time, we don't have any actions to report from closed session. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and go on to item number 8, student reports. ASB President, El Rancho High School, Kimberly Diaz de Solano.
Good evening, board and community members. My name is Kimberly Diaz Solano, and I am El Rancho's ASB president. In the month of May, we had a Cinco de Mayo food festival during lunch where various clubs and sport organizations were able to sell things to students and staffs to fundraise for their clubs. We also had an ethnic studies showcase on May 11th from 6 to 8 in the quad, where the ethnic studies department was able to showcase their work and students' work and had a mini food sale by various relating clubs and organization. On Friday, May 12th, we had College Signing Day, where we allowed the seniors to showcase what higher institution they are going to next year. Congratulations to class of 2023. This Friday in the quad during lunch, our mental health counselors will be having a fun Friday for all students. On May 24th, we are going to have a pep rally on wheels where we will go to all 3 surrounding middle schools to showcase our campus for future dawns. On May 25th, we will have our senior scholarship night in the main gym where all seniors will receive their graduation regalia and awards. Thank you guys for your time. It's been a pleasure serving as our Rancho's ASB president.
Thank you, Kimberly. Go ahead and on. ASB spokesperson, Salazar High School, Paris Macias.
Good evening, members of the Board of Education, district administrators, teachers, cabinet members, and community members. I would like to share a few events that are happening on our campus. May 8th through May 12th, we honored our teachers as part of Teacher Appreciation Week. We recognize them throughout the week with treats, lunches, and notes to let them know how much we appreciate all they do for us. On Friday, May 12th, we held our prom at the Reef in Long Beach. Seniors enjoyed a final time together as the class of 2023. A great time we had by all. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, our school's mental health counselors are having a spirit week, May 22nd through May 26th, as well as games and music in the quad, art, airbrushing, and more throughout the month. On Friday, June 2nd, our senior class will be celebrating our upcoming graduation at grad night taking place at Universal Studios. On Monday, June 5th, our seniors will say goodbye to Salazar at our graduation ceremony for the class of 2023. It will take place at the El Rancho High School Dawn Stadium at 6 p.m. We invite you all to attend. We hope to see you there. Finally, I would personally like to thank each one of you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the board meetings. I have gained much respect for the process, and being ASB spokesperson has assisted me to gain more confidence in myself. Being an ASB spokesperson will always be a fond highlight in my high school memories. As I move on in life and continue my education, I will always remember the support and guidance I received from my teachers and, most important, my family. I will miss having these meetings on Tuesday. It was an honor for me to represent Salazar High School, a place where I feel like my second home because I know everyone there cares about the students. It has been my pleasure to update you all of the great events happening around Salazar. I hope through me you learn more about all the wonderful things Mr. Semeno, the teachers and staff are doing at our campus. And for my last time, thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you, Paris. I think we could all agree that we highly enjoy your reports, both yours and Kim's. We thank you for all the activities and everything that you highlight on your school sites. We thoroughly enjoy it. And we'd like to ask you what your post-secondary educational plans are, if that's okay.
I plan to continue my education in the pre-nursing department at Cal State Chico.
Great.
I plan on attending Cypress College to finish like embalming school, like mortuary science.
Well, thank you once again. And at this time, I'd like to open up to the rest of the board to say something to you.
We'll miss you. Thank you for all the updates and being brave enough to sit up here with us and always speaking on behalf of the students at El Rancho and Salazar. And make sure you put this on your resume, okay? It's really important for your future success as well. So congratulations and the best of luck to you in school. You're welcome.
Mr. Contreras.
Yes, to both of them, Paris and Kimberly, congratulations to both of you. I was once in that seat also a long time ago, and I know it's very hard sometimes, you know, and everything else you have to juggle as far as schoolwork and the extracurricular activities. Congratulations to both of you guys. Both represented your school very well. And Kimberly, just on a side note, you know, I don't know much you know, but she was also captain of the cheer team this year. So she did an excellent job doing that on top of getting great grades, both of you, I know. So congratulations to both of you. Good luck in your future endeavors. And like my fellow trustees said here, please, letters of recommendation, you guys ever need to come back, you guys need anything from us, we're here for you. You guys represented El Rancho Unified School District well. We're more than happy to help you in any way possible. Good luck in your future endeavors. and from one ASB president to another, may God bless.
Trustee Perez.
Yeah, thank you for always being here on Tuesdays because you could be anywhere else and I'm sure you have a million things to do. So I'm excited for your future. It's always good to see Latinas very involved. So thank you. You stepped up when, other people could probably do something else. And so thank you again for always being that. I wish you the best. Again, if you need anything from us, please, please, please let us know.
Dr. Marino.
Thank you. Well, congratulations, as my colleagues have stated, you have done an amazing job being the voice for the students and carrying on these messages and all the activities that are taking place in each of your schools. I certainly want to wish you every success. I know you will be successful because it is not easy to sit in front of the community and public and deliver your information with so much energy and excitement. So I'm going to say you're following in pre-nursing. Us baby boomers, you're gonna have lots and lots of patience, right? And to Paris, you're never gonna run out of bodies. Seriously. Congratulations.
And with that, we'll go ahead and move on to item 9A to recognize and honor you. Dr. Yates.
Absolutely. Wow. So much has been said. I'll tell you, it's been such an honor. One of the highlights of the board meeting is listening to you and your representation of the many things that are happening in the high school and the pride that you say it with and how much love you have for your community. And it gives me a lot of joy to know that, this is the future of our community, and so, I want to commend you for that and thank you for taking the time to be here and to demonstrate leadership, because that's what you've demonstrated. You've been here, you stepped up to be the leaders within your group. And so the Board of Education officially thanks Kimberly Diaz de Solano, El Rancho High School ASB President, and Perez Martinez Ruben Salazar, High School ASB spokesperson, for their outstanding service to the El Rancho Unified School District for the 2022-2023 school year. As student members of the Board of Education, they have provided insight and valuable information regarding programs and activities at our high schools. Their commitment has greatly benefited our school district. The Board of Education commends Kimberly Diaz de Solano and Perez Macias for their outstanding service. So let's give them a big round of applause. And we have something for you. We have a couple of plaques, so we'd like to present them to you and an opportunity to take a picture with you if it's okay. And so if the board can, maybe we can stand here in the center and we can.
Can we get the principals and their families as well? if they're present?
Absolutely. If we have principals and family members, if they're here, please join us.
Take a picture of that. Are they good? No, they're not here.
At this time, we'll go on to item number 9B, recognition of retirees and years of service and recipients. Dr. Villegas.
Yes, we had the pleasure just a little bit ago to be at a small for us, a large, actually very lively a ceremony recognizing retirees and those that had years of service. And I was joking at the time, but actually, when you add up all the years of service, at least for the PIN recipients, you're looking at over 1,000 years of service, of folks that have dedicated their lives, their careers to the benefit of our students. We're so proud and we're humbled by the commitment that these men and women have put forth to the community, to their students. They've given so much of their lives to make sure that our children have a better education, to have a better tomorrow. And it's really a great gratitude as a superintendent to see that kind of commitment in our faculty and staff. And so with that, what we would like to do is we'd like to first recognize again, officially by the board, those that have the years of service. And so I don't know if Dr. Kelson is here. She's going to read the names of those that are receiving the years of service, 15, 25, and 30 years. And what we do have is we have certificates for you. So if you are here, we have staff that will be giving you the certificates, and we would love to be able to take a picture with you as well. And so if we can go ahead and begin with the 15 years.
Thank you, Dr. Villegas, and good evening, everyone. When I call your name, if you would please stand. We will hold the applause for each of the categories of service and bring each group up to the front, right? One at a time in terms of years. So Alice Valadez Barajas, Judith Ann Golette, Angelica Patty Perez, Juana Mexicano, Silvia Zavala, Lauren Yanarella, Jerry Anthony Valdez. Would you join me in applauding for those folks for 15 years of service? Photo now. And please, for those of you who are present, please come on up. We'll take a picture and we have certificates for you as well. Yay! Yay! Sorry. Very good. All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Thank you. Thank you. For 25 years of service, please also stand. We will hold the applause till the end for that group and then bring the group up front. Jimmy Anthony Dominguez, Amalia Gutierrez, Gina Palucci, Karen Quintero Cadena, Consuelo Macias, Guillermo Olvea, Rosemary Figueroa, Kim Renee Magallanes, Virginia Ibarra, April Yanes, Anne Marie Olvera, Eduardo Haro, Stephen Francis, Aide Nova Waller, Roseanne Gonzalez, Francis Solorzano, Eric Ray Cano, Arlene Alvarado, Laura Corrine Rivera, Evangelina Muraida Yescas, Jesse Aranda, Maria S. Rodriguez, Gregory Aguirre, and Annette Veach. Please join me in congratulating those folks on 25 years of service. Dr. Vegas, would you like them to come up? Yes, 25-year recipients, please come on up. Next, please join us in recognizing for 30 years of service. Please stand. We will applaud for you at the end and then bring you up to the stage. Lorena Arellano Meili, Natalie Valdiviez, Susan Bucio, Adriana Barrera, Gabriela Buenrostro, Sandra Chiyoko Garcia, Cynthia Hasuda, Martha Delgado, and Gloria V. Vasquez, 30 years of service. Please come on up so we can take your photo. Oh, this is good learning. Next, we'd like to honor our retirees. The folks you're going to see this evening represent over 646 years of service combined to the students, families, and community. What is most significant about an educator's career, though, is the impact that is made student by student, colleague by colleague, conversation by conversation, as so many of you in this room know so well. So I would like our retirees to stand. We will call you up to the front to be recognized as we've done similarly. And let me just say, on behalf of our team and on behalf of the students and families that we serve together, thank you so much for your dedication. Yeah. We salute you as you begin the next journey of your life. Lawrence Hernandez, Matthew Perez, Richard Erickson, Sofia Bernal, Michael Jimenez, Angela Madikians, Rachel Nevarez Campos, Antonio Ochoa, Lillian Ortiz, Martha Saucedo, Martina Lopez, Silvia Alvarado, James Moreno, Ermila Colmenares, Samuel Head, Valerie Lopez, Sylvia Cordova, Teresa Boleski, Anthony Brandenburg, Carrie Weaver, Sharon Stinson, Barbara Cortez Contreras, and Rita Cortez, our retirees. Please come on up. Okay, I will. Oh, I don't have the list. Oh, but you don't work. Mhm. If I may, as part of our class of retirees this evening, and President Mejia, thank you for pointing this out on behalf of all of us. We have a dynamic mother-daughter duo retiring this evening. One who has given nearly, if not, 4 decades of service to the district, and her mother who has given 48 years. You want to talk about a family that is committed to the education of children in this community. So very, very wonderful, wonderful service. And thank you for that moment. Okay, retirees. Oh.
Well, yeah, so this would be here.
Mhm. Okay. Next, we'd like to bring to the community a program that our Board of Trustees is beginning this year. And on behalf of our superintendent and our board, I would like to present to you the Employees of the Year. First, we have our certificated Employees of the Year. This is a process of selection by their peers. And first, similar process, if you are here, you would stand. We will hold our applause until the end and ask you to come up to take pictures. Certificated Site Employees of the Year. Maria Hurtado Slavin. Julia, oh, okay, go ahead, go ahead. Julia Gomez. Dean Knapp. Cristina Gutierrez. Ana Hernandez Cox. Valerie Lopez. Irene Cepeda. Maria Valera Barajas. Edwin Ponciano. Aide Nova Waller. John Ammerman. Natasha Maylett. Shirley Ambrose. Cindy Tiscareño. And Andres Centeno. Ladies and gentlemen, your certificated Employees of the Year. And if you would all come to this stage. You're welcome to come up. Yeah, please go ahead and come on up if you would. Did you do hello? Is it me you're looking for? There you go. More rounds. Well, first we have classified and then I'll let you leave the drum roll. All right, the celebrating continues. Next, we have our classified staff selected by their peers as Site Employee of the Year. And we'll clap for each one. They are Blanca Ramirez, Juliana Aguirre, Angelica Gonzalez, Gabriela Espinosa, Oksana Gerbetz, Cynthia Hasura, Marisol Ochoa, Belinda Flores, Rosie Vasquez, Alba Rubio, Claudia Avila, Pauline Munoz, Laura Mendiola, Cynthia Casares, and Felicia Aguirre. Please join us in congratulating all of our classified employees of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, please come on up to the stage. Congratulations.
There's two. Okay. And so now, oh, we got a few more pictures. A few more pictures. Okay, I think you are here to hear about the grand selection. So as you know, we had certificated and classified employees of the year at each of the sites and at the district office. And one of those employees was selected as certificated district employee of the year and one for classified employee of the year. And so though it was super challenging and it went through an arduous process, we were able to identify two recipients for this year's district employee of the year. And so I'd like to also just thank our associations, our unions for their participation in this because they were a big part of making sure that we have this. So let's give our union presidents a big round of applause, please. And our Board of Education, because one of their priorities was to make sure that we recognize our fabulous employees. They love you and they want to make sure you get recognized. So let's give our Board of Education a big round of applause. And so without any further ado, if we can have a drum roll, please. For the Certificated Employee of the Year, Edwin Ponciano. And for the Classified Employee of the Year, drum roll. Angelica Gonzalez.
Test, test. Here you go. Right here. Here you go. I'll be your podium.
No, yeah. First of all, I'm in shock. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love my job and I don't know, right now I'm speechless, but I want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not a fan of public speaking, even though I'm a teacher. I'm really surprised and I'm just humbled. I really enjoy my job and I enjoy the people I work with. And I've been at North Park for 13 years. And before that, I was at South Ranchito for 8 years. So I really enjoy it. And thank you. Thank you very much.
Principals of these two wonderful employees, if you could come up so we can include you in the picture, please. And families too? Yes, and families too, please.
Wait, I didn't come.
Oh. Families, right? We have some family members here too. Right? I would think that the family will stay that.
They're already leaving. Once again, I want to thank everyone for being here and participating in this. I would be remiss to also not recognize one of our partners, Ledesma Myers, who provided gift cards actually for the employees of the 2 employees of the year. They have provided with a gift card, so they're going to be able to enjoy a nice steak dinner as well as part of their winnings. So that's part of what they will be doing. So thank you, Ledesma Myers, for that. And will the board have some comments?
Dr. Marino, would you like to start? Oh, comments, yeah.
I'll be brief, but I just want to say congratulations to all of the recipients for the 15, 25, 30 years of service. To all the retirees, I want to wish you the very best next phase in your life. As a retiree myself, it truly is. You're moving on to a day when you don't have to get up by the alarm. You can get up anytime you want and just spend the day. And if you don't want to do anything, just get back in bed and enjoy it. Congratulations to that. And also to all of the teachers, and I should say not teachers, but all of the employees, classified, certificated, that were selected as employees of the year, and to those that were recognized as employees of the district. My congratulations. Thank you for all the years of service that you've all given to the district. I also want to thank Dr. Villegas, because I've been on the board, 8, 9 years, and we've never had a teacher of the year. So thank you for bringing that to the district. What a way to recognize our very best. You all deserve to be recognized, but to have this recognition, it's just wonderful. And to all the team that made it happen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Marino. Trustee Perez?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that to the board and making this a continuing tradition, right? And thank you to I know that I hope they're celebrating, especially those that are retired. I hope they are I can't wait to retire. But thank you to everyone and some of the honorees. I remember them when I was students. And so to see them here honored and just to see that they still continue to help our students, it just speaks volumes. And a huge congratulations to the employees of the year. That's a huge accomplishment, and just how emotional she got. That just shows me how much she cares about this district. So thank you.
Trustee LaFarga?
I just want to echo the comments being shared. These programs are really beautiful. I think it just shows a culture of compassion and appreciation from our district. And more importantly, to the service of our teachers and all our employees that are providing the quality work to our students. So congratulations to everybody. Wish I was invited to the parties, but that's okay. No, really, I think it's just a beautiful thing that we're able to do this, and I look forward to this being an annual event for us. Thank you.
Trustee Contreras?
What a great event. Congratulations to each and every one. I think we can all agree in here that they're all deserving of being Teacher of the Year. So another applause for all the teachers. Everybody mentioned the 15, 25, 30, and the retirees, obviously. Especially to my sister, 30 years of service. I still remember the first day that we went to the offices, to have her put her application in, and then the very next Monday she got a phone call to be a substitute, and it never finished. 30 years later, she's still teaching. So it says a lot, and it says a lot about this school district, how deep the roots are. So thank you to everybody that helped make this possible, and congratulations again to each and every one of them. Thank you so much.
And likewise, I echo the sentiments of my colleagues. Just thank you again, Dr. Villegas, cabinet, and all the everyone that made this possible. You just feel a positive energy in this room, and just the appreciation for our teachers and staff, their unwavering commitment, dedication to our students. They have so much heart. They really do. So I'm very, very, very thankful. And yes, definitely an annual event, because it is much deserved. Teachers and staff deserve to be recognized and respected always. Thank you. Okay. With that, that concludes our awards, and we will go ahead and move on to item number 10, Labor Association reports.
Good evening, Rancho family. I'm Lilia Carrion, President of Rancho Federation of Teachers. On behalf of ERT, we'd like to congratulate our employees for being honored today. Thank you so much, board and Dr. Villegas and Dr. Kelson and your staff at HR, who put a fabulous afternoon at the Rancho gym. But I also like to thank cabinet. Cabinet doesn't always get honored for their hard work. Thank you, Dora, Dean, Jasmine, Isela, and Roberta, because you guys do the work behind the scenes, but you don't get acknowledged enough for your hard work. So thank you. On another note, now I have to give you my union speech. Safety issues. As you well know, messages were going out to parents regarding some incidents that have occurred. I have to say that the district is working with us, but I like to emphasize that we need more personnel to be able to supervise our students. I did visit several schools today, and that's one thing I noticed is the lack of personnel to monitor what's going on. I know we have text-a-tip that's helped us, but the kids need to see adults watching their behavior. And I hope in the coming year, we put that as a priority. For future, I hope you can explain to me how things are paid. What items are placed on the responsibility of a school budget, and what is placed on the district budget when it comes to safety? Who pays for the SSOs? who plays for the school police. I know we're shorthanded and I hope we remedy that situation. I have a question. Did I hear correctly that the chief of police was pulled? The position was pulled? No. CBO was pulled. And the person for chief of police, what was the name, please? What was?
Thank you, Ms. Carry On. Albert Carrillo.
Okay, I'm only asking that because the teachers and the staff that I was sitting with, we didn't know who that was. So thank you for clarifying that item. The other item that I want to address, I know I started making phone calls to board members regarding instructional aides, especially at the special ed classes. We really do need help. I know we have contracted an agency, but we're having problems with the agency providing the needed personnel. I'm asking the board to find another agency to be able to help our special ed teachers. Our numbers are increasing, and it's interesting that even though we're closing out the end of the school year, kids are now coming to our school district, and we're not having the right ratio between the adult and the students in the class. That is a huge safety issue for the students and for the employees in the classroom. That is our teachers and our CSCA partners. Please make that a priority. Please increase the pay so we could get good people to work in the classrooms with our staff and with our students. I know that last week was teacher appreciation. I'd like to thank our principals and our staffs that honored our members. Thank you so much for the desserts and the lunches. I know a lot of that came out of the funds of the principals. So I want to say thank you, principals, for honoring our members. And I believe next week is CCA appreciation. ERT would like to thank every member that is part of CCA. Without your help, being the custodial person, if you're a secretary, if you're an instructional person, you facilitate. No, that's not the right, facilitate. Ooh, I have great vocabulary in my head, but sometimes the word just doesn't come out right. But anyways, you make the job of our teachers and staff a little bit easier. Without you, we can't function. So thank you so much. And I hope you have a great week with your membership, Lulu, and your staff. The other item, I know that in a week we're having Memorial Day, and I want to take let's take a few, like 30 seconds to honor the veterans who lost their lives for protecting our country and keeping democracy alive. Can we spend like maybe 20 seconds to honor? I'm sure some of you have loved ones who lost their lives in battle. So if you don't mind, Madam President, if we could take 20 seconds to just have a moment of silence for the individuals who lost their lives for this country.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we could just 20 seconds. Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. And I just came to my attention today, Sam Jennis, who was instrumental of saving this district from collapse. And when he was told to leave, he didn't have the opportunity to celebrate his retirement. And from my understanding, he has not received a plaque from this district. I hope that we remedy that situation, that he should receive his retirement plaque or award for his years of service to this district. I hope that, Madam President, that the retirement gift that was given to our teachers and staff today, that one is provided for him, and that it is presented hopefully at the next board meeting to thank him for retiring from this district. And it gets me, I get a little bit emotional because this man put his career on the line for all of us. This board is here because he took a hit. He took a hit to protect this district from total collapse. And it's shameful that we haven't taken the opportunity to thank him for what he's done for Pico Rivera, for the students and teachers and staff. So I wanted on record that we need to do something special for this man. He even came out of retirement to help with positions, when principals have to go out for whatever reason. He comes back, he takes care of our people so the principal can come back and do his or her job. So please, please honor this man. Thank you, and have a good Memorial Weekend.
Thank you, Ms. Carrion. Is Ms. Serrano? Thank you. Good evening, board and people in the audience. Last night, I received the so-called threat before I had even had a chance to read the email saying that it was a fake. And my immediate thought was, we're not prepared. And I have stressed about active shooter training. And to think that that could have possibly had happened at our school is very scary. My dad calls me at 9 o'clock. Why are you at school? Why are you working? My step sister, she did not come. The student that I work with did not come. What can we do to make this community at peace? And I believe that we need training. We need to feel confident. Because I came to school, not just work with the kiddos that I work with on the daily, but I needed a paycheck. And I was ready to sacrifice, come whatever came today. And it's very scary that at 3 o'clock in the morning, my whole body went numb because I knew I was not ready, but I had to show up. Because I will take a bullet for any of our students. So I want the board to know this, because this is not a joke. I feel very brave enough to come, but the training, I don't have enough. So I really would like to see training. And it's not just for classified, not just for teachers, but all the way around. We need to be, I don't want to say ready, because we shouldn't have to, but we need to know that we're prepared enough. And not just checking off boxes. We need to be ready for the call of duty. And that's all I have to say for tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Serrano. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to item number 11, public comments, items on the agenda, blue comment cards. Prior to that, Trustee Contreras, can you please read the public comment statement? That would apply to blue, both cards.
The Board of Trustees has established protocols that will allow board to conduct the business of the district while also achieving the type of open communication we all want in our community. The board values the input of parents, students, employees, and other members of the public. Our goal is to allow the free exchange of views among board members and its staff and between members of the public and the board while maintaining a respectful and orderly atmosphere. It is the board's policy to encourage all interested individuals to contribute constructive ideas and perspectives during the meeting while respecting the rights of others to express their ideas and perspectives. The board welcomes disagreement, but it is important that disagreement be expressed in a meaningful and respectful manner. Speakers should not make personal attacks on other individuals. To promote these goals, we ask that everyone be courteous, patient, and respectful while others speak. Each speaker should feel free to express his or her viewpoint freely, but courteously and respectfully, speaking concisely and within the allotted time limits. Each speaker will be allotted the maximum of 3 minutes. A maximum of 15 minutes will be allotted per agenda item. Members of the public will not speak unless first recognized by the board president or chairperson and will speak only from the podium. not directly from the audience at any time.
Thank you, trustee Contreras. Dr. Villegas, do we have any public comments, items on the agenda?
At this time, we do not have any items on the agenda.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to item number 12, public comments, items not on the agenda. Do we have any comments?
We do. We have several for that. First up is Christine Saavedra.
Hi, guys. I want to say thank you for coming to El Rancho. It's a great school. I hope you recognize all the great things that they're doing here. The staff, the students, everybody. It's just a great place to be. Happy Mother's Day to Board President and to Dr. Marino. I'm very happy that we do have parents, because sometimes when I hear what you guys are saying, I'm thinking that's exactly the questions that I have. So for those of you that don't know, because it came as a surprise to me, at which I call myself the Metiche parent, that means I'm all up in your business. So I saw that the 100-day plan was finally put out, and it had a date of April 28th, which I know was supposed to be put out on November 22nd, because that's my birthday, and I could not forget my birthday, November 22nd. And so a little bit late, 5 months, that's okay. But the reason I'm here is because there's some stuff that we cannot wait on. There's some stuff that as it relates to safety, I had a lot of parents, I hope I don't start crying, my bad, guys. I had a lot of parents text me, message me yesterday, today, what is going on. If you were here at El Rancho, maybe you noticed, or any of the other schools, that a lot of the halls were empty in comparison to what they were other days. My kids did not come to school. I told them, you'll be fine. This is an old post, this and that. And they said, I just don't feel comfortable. And I said, you know what? That's fine. You can stay home. You're going to do work, but you can stay home, And it's not fair that we have to put our students and our staff in these situations. I'm looking at the 100-day plan, and the goal number 3, school effectiveness, really talks about safety and driving it home. We have an upcoming safety summit, and I hope everybody that's here attends, and anybody that's watching also attends. But what happened to the first safety summit? We gave a lot of input. We gave what we felt was our feedback, a lot of feedback. We never heard back on it. When you were first hired, Dr. Villegas, I probably was one of the first people up here saying, we got your back. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. Same thing with the director of HR, anything that has to do with the school district, with the schools. There's so many parents out here. We just want to help. And we're trying to create positive atmospheres for our children so they can be safe, so they can reach great heights and do all these great things that when you look on Twitter and you see Dawn succeeding, the hashtag, they're doing great things. And they should be doing great things because of us, not in spite of us. So we need to work harder. We need to, when you say safety is important, then that needs to be a priority, because it doesn't feel like it is. I don't know what happened again with the notes from the first safety summit, but I hope that when we do go to the next safety summit, a lot of the stuff that we talk about does get touched upon, because there's stuff that I know 100% for sure. What about the kids that are in special ed? What about the kids that STEM? What about the kids that get louder when they get anxiety? How are we going to be able to have those kids be quiet? Or what kind of a room are you going to put them in? If they're in an active shooter participation, has anybody thought of that? There's a lot of things that I feel like, no, who's looking at this? And honestly, I'm not here to antagonize you in any way, but I feel like there's a lot of people that give up their time freely. And again, I have no intention of ever working for the school district. I volunteer my time. And I have said it time and time and again, whatever you need me for, whether it's a bake sale or whatever you need me to do, I'll help you. But listen to us. There's a lot of parents out there. They have worried kids. They worry about the people that are at the school sites as well, not just their children. So when you're going to talk about safety, and when you're going to talk about, yes, my school plan, this is what we're doing, this is how we're improving, and we're having town halls, do something and provide the feedback and communication so that we can all work together. Because at the end of the day, that's all everybody wants. And I'm sorry if I went over my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Saavedra. Dr. Villegas?
Thank you. We have next. We have Jocelyn Espinosa.
Good evening, board members. Good evening, cabinet. I'm Jocelyn Espinosa. I work at North Ranchito Elementary School. I teach a preschool special ed filled with 3 and 4-year-olds with disabilities. I'm going to get emotional too. So I stand before you to give a voice to those who can't speak for themselves, our youngest, most vulnerable learners, and to defend their right to a safe learning environment. We have a safety crisis caused by staff shortages, and it sounds like it's a safety crisis throughout the district. And I think the staff shortage is affecting other classes. And since the beginning of this school year, our class has been understaffed. Our class has nearly tripled in size since we returned from winter break. And astonishingly, our class had doubled in size in the last month, with an influx of young students with many challenging behaviors. Many of these students engage in concerning behaviors that are a safety risk to themselves and to others. Our students require prompting, redirection, and close monitoring to stay safe and participate in learning activities. So the current staffing shortage is jeopardizing the safety and the learning of our students. I am told that hiring staff to mitigate this crisis is, quote, beyond our control, unquote. So then I ask, who has control? Who among you will take this crisis in hand and help provide us a safe learning environment for our students? Please help keep our students safe. I am aware that the district is working with our union representatives to solve safety concerns, and I applaud these efforts, but we cannot wait for the outcome of these discussions. We need additional consistent full-time staff now, and I'm asking you to give your immediate attention to creative solutions so we have safe classrooms, the safe classrooms and schools our students, their parents, and our community trust us to provide. And I'd like to leave you with a final thought. Today, I passed out these lovely green pencils to my students, and they have printed on them, "Mental health matters" at ERUSD. And I pause and I wonder, if this is true, then why are we struggling to keep our students safe at school? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Espinoza.
Next, we have Heather. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Shay.
Sorry, I got emotional with Jocelyn. It is. Hi, I'm Heather Shea. I work at South Ranchito Elementary School, South Ranchito Dual Language Academy. I didn't want to get emotional, but after hearing Jocelyn, and I know Joss, and I thank you for talking to. Well, good evening, board and community. I'm currently a special education teacher for students who have autism. I have been teaching students with special needs for 18 years. It breaks my heart that I had to ask for a transfer from special education to go to general education classroom for the next school year. As a teacher, and I looked up Dr. Vegas, I kind of used your wording a little bit on this. As a teacher, I am responsible for the success of every student and working with the district to ensure ERUSD remains focused on the needs of the students and their goals. Here are the reasons I have asked for the transfer. Staff to student ratio. I have 7 students who have autism. You may feel that is a low number. However, students with autism have different needs that need to be addressed. IEPs consider staff to student ratio in order to maintain safety and learning. Staff injuries. I have been injured at work due to lack of support. Other staff in my classroom has also been injured due to the lack of support. The inconsistency of staff. The school site will cover transitions and support for short durations in the form of intervention teachers, instructional assistants from other special education classrooms on site. The behavior technicians who are supporting other classrooms will also support when there's a lack of support. It is a fact that there will be times when there will be a lack of support for a number of reasons. However, my experience is not limited to a few instances. In an attempt to be proactive and reduce the number of potential issues due to the lack of support, the primary support staff going out on maternity leave notified the district by email in January that she would start maternity leave on March 20th, 2023, and no one was put in her place. From March 21st to 2023 until May 16th, today, 7 out of 34 of those days have I been fully covered. 2 of my students require a primary support person. As a primary support, you are solely responsible for 1 student in order to implement a behavior intervention plan. We are aware that an agency was hired to support classrooms with missing staff. The agency support staff who was in my classroom was injured on her own time and has been out of work since April 3rd, 2023. I have requested another person. However, I was informed that the agency we hired to fill this missing staff did not have anyone to send. Examples of occurrences within my classroom. Students with autism need guidance to interact with each other. Some students' first reaction if they become frustrated is to lope or run out of the classroom, bite, hit their head or body, kick, scratch either themselves or other students and or staff. It is an ongoing process. A student who has soiled diaper and clothes that needs to be changed. With lack of support, the teacher is left alone with 6 students with autism. A student dropping to the ground and refusing to get up for 15 or more minutes. 1 staff member has to wait with them, which leaves the teacher with 6 students who have autism to manage. In closing, I would like to state again that I'm very sad that I have to leave special education because of the reasons stated above. I want to thank Principal Ms. Padron and the Autism Focus team on South Ranchito Dual Language Academy for the support they have graciously provided when they can. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shea.
Rose Gonzalez.
Hello, board and district administrators. My name is Rose Gonzalez. I work at Rio Vista Elementary. I just received my 25-year PIN, but I have been at Rio Vista for 42 years as a parent, an aunt, and an employee. In those years, I have volunteered in the library. I am the library media technician, and that furniture is older than 41 years old. They talk about special ed. We try to service special ed. It's sad that I cannot have them come in because there's no room for them. I have to push a cart to their classroom when I have time to. My sons try to help me volunteer. My son's banging at a shelf because it's broken. I had a principal, Mr. Lopez. We came 2 weekends in a row. He soldered, we sanded, we put them back together. I have books that are in our boiler room because I have no room for them. I have students in TK that are reading at a 1.2 to 1.5. And I have to tell them, there's no more books for them because there's no room for them. I have students in kindergarten reading at a 4-point level. There's no room for their books either. A couple of you have been to my school, and somebody has been a student at the school. And you probably have seen that furniture and it's still there. I'm hoping that something can get done because it's pretty sad that I'm told that the school has to buy the furniture. Our school, as long as I've been there, the district has never bought that school furniture. We've been with that furniture forever. We were told to tell the principal to buy furniture. To me, I don't feel it should come out of the school's budget. It should come out of the district. All the money you're getting for to fix up the schools. Even McGee, I went over to help them where we're under the shelves trying to get the books that fall over the sides. Their furniture is just as old as ours. You know, it's pretty sad that I have all these books that even the school hasn't even paid. The school doesn't pay for them. We get grants for them, but I can't put them out because there's no furniture. I have students that when Mr. Cochran was our principal, bought us ladders. The students are climbing the ladders. Well, I have TK and first graders. I can't let them get on the ladders. So I have to stop what I'm doing to pull books down for them to see. Yeah, I just hope that you can go see our school to see how it is. And that it's not fair that we have to ask our principal to pay for furniture. Even my furniture, I used to buy myself. But when Miss Smith was here, she got me furniture from a school that was closing. So that's not even original Rio Vista furniture. And I want to thank you. We talk about security. I want to thank you for getting that doorbell system at our school. Because that has, I work in the office too in the morning. That has helped our school. That does make our office staff feel safer with that doorbells. But if you can come and check our school and any help to help our students, because I really would like for them to come back and sit in the library where they can barely stand in the line in the library because there's no room. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez.
And that concludes all of the public comment.
I know a rancho put in more furniture, and I talked to our neighbor, and somehow the payment was 5% of that stock. And she put in the order last year. So I hope that the staff can look at the other libraries that you again, tender loving care. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Villegas, I think it goes without saying that the board would like you to follow up with all the public comments and specifically some of the items that were raised because there was grant money for the libraries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with that said, we'll go ahead and move on to item number 13, information items. Item 13A, presentation on the Think Together Summer Program.
So I'd like to introduce Mr. Andrew Perez, who's here with a colleague who will talk to us about the summer program that Think Together would like to offer our students this summer.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening, board members, superintendent, members of the cabinet. My name is Jesse Durkin. I'm the regional general manager for Think Together. Andrew Perez is the deputy director of program and operations, who really handles the nuts and bolts of our program implementation, manages our quality assurance coaches. And I'm excited to be here tonight to present an opportunity to support the summer programs for the elementary schools in El Rancho. I know we're the proud after-school provider of the middle schools for many years. And in working with Jasmine and Gisela, we're excited about this opportunity to potentially support the summer program at McGee and North Ranchito this summer. So without further ado, the program we're prepared to implement would offer 6 hours daily of after summer school from June 12th through the 30th, and then 9 hours daily from July 3rd through July 21st. We would be able to service up to 360 students daily across the 2 school sites for a total of 28 program days. The staff to people ratio would be 1 to 20, 1 to 10 for TK and K. And we do have additional floaters and substitutes to maintain that ratio. And we would be contracted for 28 program leaders, 4 site coordinators, and 1 quality assurance coach. I will also say that Andrew and the quality assurance coaches have been working to really set aside in hopes that we get this contract approved some of our best program leaders and our top site coordinator to hopefully support this initiative. But I do want to dive into some of the program components. So we have STEM, visual and performing arts, SEL, healthy living, physical activity, providing daily breakfast and lunch for the 9 hours, for the 9 hour days. And we would offer 2 offsite field trips and 2 mobile on-site field trips. So going a little bit more into the curriculum, for our STEM curriculum, we offer STEM and more and Lego engineering. So the STEM curriculums are both project-based learning, offering take-home models for students. They're aligned to Common Core standards and next-gen science standards. Our visual and performing arts curriculum, Moxie Box, Draw All You Can, help students supports learning of various art concepts and students making their own artwork from various cultural traditions. And we also have a dance instructor that will be able to teach students folklorico routines. For social emotional learning, we have Scholastics, Sanford Harmony, and Every Monday Matters, various curriculums that help students build interpersonal skills, self-reflection, and develop emotional intelligence. And then for healthy living, we have America's Test Kitchen, where students will learn to cook and experiment with cuisines from different cultures. And physical activity, we have Fulcrum, which offers fun and engaging ways for students to build team, collaborate with peers, and work on problem-solving skills. So our daily schedule for the first half would look like sign in at noon, physical activity for an hour. We would alternate between Fulcrum and Soccer for Success. Our STEM curriculum alternating between STEM and more, and Lego engineering, visual and performing arts curriculum alternating between the various pieces, healthy living or SEL, and then closing. So we would stay until 6 p.m. For the 9 hour programs that we would be running in July, we would spread things out a little bit more, but all of this curriculum offers 20-day programs. And so there are plenty of lesson plans and materials for the 9 hour days. And with that, I will open it up to any questions.
Board members, do you have any questions? Trustee Perez?
Hi, thank you. Quick question. So how are this, and maybe it's a question for you, Stella. So the students that are going to be doing this program, they're not students that are doing summer school?
They can be, it will probably overlap. That's why from June 12th to June 30th, they'll have the morning program with quote unquote summer school. And then they'll have the opportunity to attend an additional 6 hours with the Think Together. So it will be a first come, first serve opportunity for our students.
Okay. And then how are we going to just decide, sorry, maybe yes, how are we going to decide who gets to be in the Think Together program?
It will be a first come, first serve. This is our first time offering it in the summer, and we don't know exactly how many students will take advantage of this program. So we're offering it to 180 students at each site. And we're going to start promoting it and advertising if and when it gets board approved so that students can enroll and participate in the program.
Okay. Sorry. Other question. So at the end of the program, is there any surveys that you do for students or like data that gets collected?
At the end of summer program, I don't believe we have a standard survey, but we can do one at your request. Andrew, anything?
Yes, hello, members of the board. We do have a survey that we do every summer program where we poll the students on how a variety of questions around how they feel more involved in STEM, their social emotional learning, and then how how Think Together has supported them in looking into college and career.
And then the positions that you listed, those are already, because I know we had, like, they've already been filled, like they're already coming in, or are we still hiring?
We have them on standby pending board approval, but we do have, as Jesse mentioned, we have our top quality staff from various districts who are not having summer program, who will be are planning to support the elementary sites.
Thank you. And then what schools are going to be participating? Or
All students will be able to
location?
participate, but currently we're housing summer school in 2 sites, which will be McGee Elementary and North Ranchito. But all students have an opportunity to attend summer school at those 2 sites. And those will be the 2 sites that will also be hosting this summer program.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm sorry if I missed it, but what's our funding stream for the program? ELOP?
ELOP.
ELOP. And what's the budget for?
I can share that with you at a board update for this program.
Thank you. And why are we doing one block 6 hours and one block 9 hours?
Because it needs to be a total of 9 hours. So the 3 hours from summer school from 9 to 12 establishes 3 hours, and we're piggyback on that. And the 6 hours will make it 9. And then when summer school ends on June 30th, we'll offer the 9-hour program from July 1st to the 21st.
Okay.
Obviously, with the exception, 4th of July and June 19th.
Okay. And what's our capacity for students?
180%.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. So am I understanding this correctly that some students will be there for 9 hours?
Yes,
How,
that's
how effective is this? To
So
be in this program?
the purpose of ELOP is to offer in a 9-hour day to students. So in addition to the regular school day being extended to 9 hours with ELOP funding, it's also part of the program that we need to offer 30 intercession days at 9 hours a day.
So this is more than a regular 8-hour work schedule. I'm just thinking of, what's to be gained from these programs when a child is in school pretty much for 9 hours. So the intent of the summer program is enrichment to help students recover for some of them, what was lost or was not achieved during the school year. It sounds more that this is turning into a daycare.
It's more of an enrichment opportunity. I'm sorry, Dr. Munoz, more of an enrichment opportunity for students where they get additional activities that they wouldn't get during the school day. But yeah, when you read the guidelines of ELOP, it is a 9-hour day program that they want for these students. So in addition to increasing the school day 3 hours, there's 30 intercession days that we need to offer to our students, whether they be the summer, winter break, spring break, or days off. In order for us to say we're using ELOP funds, it needs to total 9 hours.
So this is the requirement of the ELP program to be, well, I understand 9 hours, but what I'm saying is for a child to be enrolled for 9 hours. Now, it's on a first come, first served basis. So I'm thinking of those that are already there 3 hours for summer school, then an additional 6 hours.
Correct.
What about those students who are not attending summer school, but want to avail themselves of this opportunity? Would that be taken into consideration?
Yes, they will have the opportunity to sign up as well. Again, it's our first year doing it, so I don't know what the demand will be because it is a long day for students. And we are offering it for our youngest of students, kindergarten through 5th grade at the elementary. We're also offering it the middle school. So we need to make sure these programs are robust and keep our students engaged in the activities throughout the day, because like you said, 9 hours is a long time for them.
And what age span are we looking at?
Elementary, K through 5th grade in the summer. In the school year, it'll be TK through 5th.
Okay, so I'm thinking of a TK and a kinder to be engaged in a 9-hour program. Do they have downtime, nap time, rest time? These children still need that. I just can't, it's as an educator and as a parent and grandparent, I just can't see that level of engagement. I'm not saying the staff, probably your staff, now you won't have staff working 9 hours as well, will you?
Yes, we will. We do have staff who will be on campus for the duration of program. One thing to note for the students, they are not required to stay the full 9 hour. It is to the intent of the LOP is to provide the opportunity for students throughout the 9 hours of the day, the times that we've identified and working with Gisela and Jasmine. So the families have the opportunity and students have the opportunity to come anytime throughout that. We will be working intentionally with our staff and with the parents, so they're aware of what the hours of operation are. And then should the family choose to, as an example, bring their student at 9 a.m. but leave by noon, that is an opportunity that every family will have.
And that be clarified to parents so they'll feel.
Correct. And we also need to share the guidelines with them as well, because for staffing purposes, let's say everybody says we're picking up the students as an example at 2 o'clock, but we need to have staffing there for the 9 hours for the 2 or 3 kids who will stay there the 9 hours. So it's clear communication that we need to have with parents so that the schedule is set that supports the students' engagement.
I understand the need for this program, just not comfortable with the schedule, especially for the younger students. Thank you.
Trustee Contreras?
Thank you for the presentation, and I do hear some good stuff coming out of the middle school section, which is why it was recommended over for the elementary. I do hope that because you are already in the middle school, in the middle schools, you see where there is opportunity for improvement for the kids that are coming into the middle school program, and you implement that in the elementary program so that when they do get to your middle school program, they're better prepared. I'd also would like if the opportunity is there for them to get challenged as much as possible while they are in the elementary. As far as STEM is concerned, it's something that we've been challenged ourselves as a board to focus on to get the STEM going more. So I would hope that if you have more challenging programs, and not just, I think what we're thinking is and it was mentioned a place to babysit, more so challenge them so that they're busy and they're actually working, their minds are going. I see it as a great opportunity for ourselves as a district to grow in that area. So thank you for the presentation.
I have 3 questions. When do we start promoting and signing up?
As soon as it becomes board approved, we're going to work together to make sure we get the communication out to our community.
Thank you. And if there's a wait list, is there a possibility of having more capacity?
We would have to amend the board item and talk to them to see if they can fulfill the need with staffing for our students.
And I completely understand it's the first year that we're doing it. However, I know that through the mayor revised, the governor's kept his commitment to the 4 billion that he's allocated towards that. So I'm hoping that this is a great experience for our students. We were at a LAXTA meeting and they did have an ELOP presentation, and one of the things that were highlighted were serving the parents and the students on what they wanted to see. The district that presented was Hemet Unified, and they've done it for the past 2 years. So that was something that was really highlighted. And just the a la carte was also, as you mentioned, it's they don't have to stay there the whole full time, but they have that option. And I think as trustee Dr. Marino stated, the parents, it's really important for them to know what the guidelines are. I think that those were all my questions. Thank you very much for the presentation. One follow-up question.
Sorry. Okay, so if they get to leave whenever, let's say, not that they will, but let's say all the kids leave, what does that look in terms of budget? Like my concern is that we have staff and students leave. It's a long day for little kids, like it is. And I'm sure you're great. But if they all leave, like, I'm just curious, and I'm a little concerned in terms of like the budgeting, like, if we find, I guess when we have the parents sign up, are we going to be asking them what hours they're coming to? And I know we can't require it, but I don't want it to be where kids leave early because they're tired or exhausted, and then we just have staff and we're not that we're wasting money, but we're wasting, opportunities.
So I'm gonna say it's gonna be our hours for the services will be billed for the hours that we use or services offered. So we intend to have that many students enrolled and all of, let's just hypothetically say at one school, no student shows up, we would have a conversation to see how we can address that. The total budget, and I wanted to answer Mr. LaFarga's question for the summer program will be $354,751. You're welcome. I'm sorry I didn't have that.
Yes. And I just wanted to, piggyback off of what we're talking about in terms of this money coming from the state. I hear you and we don't want to pretend like, we're credentialed teachers providing amazing, certified staff lessons every minute of the 9-hour days. We are trying to pump as much resources as we can. We've increased our program design team, our curriculum offerings, our training team to try to make the 9 hours as robust as possible. But we are trying to meet the state guidelines and the money the state has thrown at this to be able to be spent. It is kind of a use it or lose it type of situation. And so we do want to throw everything we can into this to make it the best it can be. And we have a robust team at home office that is really working hard to make sure that we're providing quality programming that is tailored by grade level. So yeah.
Go ahead. And I think that's exactly why I want to make sure that, one, we market it like crazy, both in English and Spanish, and two, that I don't want to say required, but that you are committing to something, right? Not that you just can come in whenever you want. And it takes that opportunity from another parent that might actually need it for the full time. So I get where you're coming from, but I just want to make sure that our parents are also taking that accountability and that they're gonna, keep really going with the program. So thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll go ahead and move on to item number 13B, presentation of the El Rancho Unified School District Summer 2023 projects.
And I'll just take a moment to introduce Mr. David Compton, who will be sharing some of the summer projects. Summertime is a great time to get things done. And for many of the facilities and part of the work of even the summer school is to consolidate them in sites so that certain projects can get done. So what Mr. Compton will be sharing is some of the projects that will be happening this summer.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Villegas, cabinet members, and the El Rancho community. I'm just going to share, as Dr. Villegas mentioned, some of the plans we have, kind of a preview of what my department has going on this summer, and some of the bigger projects as well. The operations department is going to start out with business as usual at the sites to where there is summer school. There'll be staff during the day as normal. We'll have the cleaning that takes place every night. So no change there. But at the sites where there is no summer school is when we get really busy. We're going to put crews together and they're going to focus on all the deep cleaning projects. I've got some of them listed here. We're going to deep clean classrooms, restrooms, kitchens, multi-purpose rooms. Going to spend a lot of time on flooring, refinishing it where we need, shampooing carpet. We're going to work on the campuses. We've got some new steam cleaning units. We're going to spend quite a bit of time working on concrete, gum removal, cleaning up outdoors as well. As we move closer to school reopening, there are going to be some furniture relocation and preparing the classrooms for the arrival of students and then and the staff to return. Last year, we suffered from some pretty severe staffing shortages. We're in a little bit better place right now, but we are still hopeful that we can utilize some of the 10-month employees to help with the cleaning projects. We're hoping to get quite a few of them on board and really make a big dent in all the areas of concern. Moving on to the maintenance side, they get busy on the last day of school. It starts with relocation of assets, furniture, equipment, special ed equipment to the new sites wherever needed. When they're doing that, there'll be meetings with the staff, make sure everything's in order the way they want it. Sometimes we have to make some adjustments on the fly. We'll continue to support the schools daily through the work order system, daily repairs as normal. My staff will be working year round, with the exception of those who request vacation time. So it'll be business as usual on the daily work orders. Grounds maintenance will continue to do same thing. We do also have some annual tree trimming we take care of during this time. The normal routine for my guys who are not on work orders, there's going to be painting, fence repairs. We have flooring, lighting. We're still upgrading some of the lighting here at the high school. We're switching those over to LED as quickly as we can. As we get closer to July, we will be relocating a lot of the items here from the high school in preparation for the stadium project. A lot of the sports equipment, storage bins have to be either relocated here at the high school, or a lot of it's going to be going to Salazar to be used on those sports fields. And one of the other big projects we're going to tackle is the emergency bins. A lot of them have been depleted in supplies in recent years, or the supplies have just basically gone beyond their usefulness. A lot of expired product. Some of the bins are in pretty bad shape, so we're in the process of procuring as many as we can. We're going to try and replace all those that needed. So we start out the school season with bins in good working condition. One of the bigger projects we have going on is roofing. As you guys all know, we had rains we haven't seen in a long time in this area. That exposed quite a bit of new concerns for some of the school sites. So what I've done is basically doubled the roofing scope compared to the last year. So all total, we're going to be roofing 27 buildings at 11 different sites. And we determined a lot of that for several reasons. We started out with the facilities assessment report that was done in 2021. And then I put a schedule together based on the work orders we've received over the last year and a half. And then finally, just we did some spot roof checks on our own and determined the priorities. And unfortunately, we don't have the time or funds to take care of all the roofing needs in one season, but my goal is to try and keep this at an accelerated pace over the next couple of years and try and get caught up, get us in a better place for roofing. So in addition to the ones that are scheduled, we've got a few other things that are pending or started already. And I did meet with Ms. Carrion a few weeks ago, and she shared some of the concerns that her members have. And I just want everybody to know that we took those serious and we are working on them the best we can. And another thing which has just started, and Dr. Villegas was heavily involved in the decision-making for this, was we have started installation of the Verkada access control system, which, if you're not familiar with it, that is replacing the Ring doorbells. And there's a video intercom system and additional camera system. And it will give the staff members in the office the ability to unlock the doors remotely. And I can tell you that as of today, we have 5 sites up and running, and all the rest of them are expected to be completed by the end of May. Our clock speaker project, which has been going on since late last year, it's in its final phase. You may recall that we added a lot of outdoor speakers to the scope that wasn't there originally. And with the help of Ledesma Meyer, we are working on that. And we expect to be completed with that project in the middle of June. Another project that's coming up, we're still a little ways out, but it's the renovation of the multipurpose rooms at the elementary schools. All 8 of them are being affected, and they're getting interior remodels, HVAC system upgrades, and a few other things. And I can report that it is expected to go to DSA for plan check in the middle of June. So that too is moving on its way. Another concern that was shared by Ms. Carrion, taking place here at the high school, we have a portable restroom unit that is back here by the Salcedo gym that was, as I was told, it was put in on a temporary basis. Well, that was 21 years ago. And that is in a state of almost not useful anymore. I did find out just in the last couple of days that we have a pretty good chance of procuring a replacement. Hopefully we can get installed by the end of summer. It's something we're going to have to act quickly on, but there's a piggyback contract out there that makes this readily available and hopefully pretty quickly. And lastly, on on a lot of people's minds. I'm happy to say that the stadium project, pool project is still moving forward as planned. Everything is still on schedule. We are currently in the point where we're accepting bids for the demolition process. So we did a walk with all the potential bidders on that the other day, and everything's moving forward with that as well. So in a minute, I'm going to bring up Miles from Pacific West to give an update on our air quality project. Before that, just like to know if anybody has any questions. All right, thank you. Oh, okay.
All right, Mr. Compton.
That's okay.
Some comments and questions also. And thank you so much again for everything you do for the district. I wish I can see you more, but I know you're extremely busy. Question, you talked about faculty and being short-staffed. Do you have an exact number of how many vacancies you have right now?
I currently have 4 vacancies in the maintenance side, but we are in the process of starting the interviews. We have applicants, so I can say that we'll be interviewing for those positions in the next week or 2.
I know you're extremely short-staffed. I see Mr. Mark Montoya pulling out chairs and doing everything he can within his realm, but his expertise, he needs to be doing what he needs to be doing and not be putting chairs out for, you know, our events. So please keep me posted as far as, you know, when the staffing gets filled up. I know it's been an issue. I know we've been working on it. But since El Rancho, the high school's been, I guess, the focus now. We really need to make sure that you have the proper staffing to be able to get these projects completed in a timely manner. They are far overdue. The restroom, you know, for example, there's a lot of different projects within the high school level, let alone, you know, the other areas, the other schools within our district that need to be addressed. Thank you for addressing the items and the furniture at the Allen Ochoa Prep and getting those items to be put in use, in well use. I think it's something that is well needed, and maybe we can use some of the furniture, because I know a lot of that stuff is still new, to go to the other schools that are in need of some furniture that's more than 40 years old, as we were told. And I know that there's been some recs that have been out for more than 6 months. So I know that with the staffing now, you'll be able to tackle some of those recs that have been asked. As far as the restrooms are concerned, do you know if we do get those restrooms replaced in the back, can we go something more towards individual universal type restroom?
We can. The unit available that I was given a sample of it. First of all, let me back up a little bit by saying my intention is to try and double the size of that restroom. What is out there is sold as a single unit, but we have space to put 2 of them together and make one large unit. And I would recommend that just for the needs of the students and the staff, because that area gets a lot of use and there's just not enough facilities.
I just believe for safety concerns that going more towards individual restrooms now will help alleviate some of the safety concerns we have with the students getting together in the restrooms and doing other stuff than using the restrooms for what they're being used for. So if we can look into getting something as far as, you know, the individual universal type restrooms, multiples back there, I think it would be something that would help us alleviate some of those problems that could happen back there. And then also with the emergency bins, I know that a lot of them have been expired. I've been to a lot of schools, and I know that it's a major safety hazard and a major issue that's been going on for quite a while. So thank you for finally getting to get those expired items, you know, updated. So I really appreciate that. So thank you. That's all I have.
Of course.
Thank you. Mr. Compton, I do have a couple of questions, and it's kind of piggybacking Trustee Contreras. I have the emergency bins highlighted as well. So yes, thank you for making sure that they're updated, and maybe it's a Dr. Villegas question, but I'd like to know if it's the district that's paying for that or not the sites.
That is a district pay. As a matter of fact, we've been meeting about, you know, what are the actual things that need to be in there and make sure we have the appropriate inventory. And that is a district that we pay for that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And then my next question is, I know that the next presenter will be doing the HVAC project, but that's specific to the elementary schools, I believe.
Yes, that's the project that we started last year.
So my question is for the high school. I know that when it's not hot yet, but when it does get hot, the library. So I just wanted to see like if there's any status on that, like if there's any issues or if there'll be any maintenance over the summer for the library and also the building in the front.
Yeah, my staff, they'll spend all time available to not only just run the work orders, but they try and catch up on the preventative maintenance and make sure everything's in order. And there's still unfortunately a long lead time on a lot of HVAC product out there right now. So we're still battling the availability of components sometimes.
Thank you, Mr. Compton. Dr. Marino?
Mr. Compton, thank you for all this information. I'm just glad to see that, the roofing is going to be taken care of to the extent possible for all of the schools. It has been an issue, especially with all the rains we had this past year. Also, just hearing that the stadium and the pool are on track to start on time, and that an RFP will be going out shortly for the demolition. This is the right demolition this time, though, and I'm glad to hear that. I know there's a staff shortage, and we need there's a need for a very key position here, which is a facilities project manager that could also help lessen some of that burden load that you and your staff have right now, but that's shortcoming, I hope. In terms of updates on that to facilitate, make it easier, and to stay within the protocols for you to report to Dr. Villegas, and he in turn reports to the board so that we are all informed in terms of the progress. I would certainly appreciate that very much. But thank you. It's just encouraging to see that a lot is going to be done to our facilities as well. Just a quick note in terms of the furniture, you were here when we heard the comments. This old furniture probably sold as I am or older. But it isn't really working. And again, it's part of what the facilities project manager will also be looking at because they are throughout the district. But it's also, working closely with the principals so that the principals, because, this falls really within facilities, can make you aware of the situations at each site so that to help you prioritize, and you in turn with your team, and then move it on through the protocols in terms of what are the priorities in terms of furnishings, because I'm certain that if you do that throughout all of the schools, you're going to see that what's happening at Rio Vista and the other schools, all furniture has seen their better days. So that could also help. It's just, again, goes back to the communication from the teachers, from staff, not teachers, staff to the principal, so that the principal raises a concern to the level that, it will be addressed. So that it's really a team effort for everybody, facilities, administrators, superintendent, et cetera. But thank you for all this information.
Of course.
Thank you, Mr. Compton, for the presentation. Certainly a lot of work that needs to be done for the summer, and hopefully those vacancies can be filled to move this along. Just a question in terms of, is there anything you anticipate that could cause delays in any of these repairs, or anything that concerns you other than staffing?
Unforeseen could be if I lose any more staffing for any
Okay.
particular reason. But right now, our biggest problem with some of the bigger projects is still the availability of components.
Components? Okay, yeah, okay. Thank you.
Good evening, board, Dr. Villegas and trustees. Thank you for having me tonight, and appreciate Dave for allowing me to come do a project update on where we're at. Last year, Pacific West, my name is Miles Lupe, Business Development Manager with Pacific West. Last year, we were selected as the energy services company to provide an air quality and CalShape project that incorporates 8 elementary sites and a district wide CalShape program. And if you remember, the CalShape program was put on by the CDC or CEC to provide air quality initiatives to all districts statewide. So I just want to start off by saying thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure working with David and his team. Unbelievable service and just collaboration with being able to get access to sites, being able to have escorts while on sites, and then the amazing hospitality by the principals, staff, and administration all the way throughout. So we spent a lot of time on your sites over the past few months. And so it's been a pleasure to get to know everybody and also get out in the community, do some community projects as well. Just for a brief overview and summary to remind everybody of what the district essentially hired Pacific West to do. It's a HVAC and controls project where we are replacing 229 HVAC units at those 8 elementary sites. We are also upgrading the building management system. And so that has just been a process going through the design phase, working with David. We're having every 2 weeks, we're having construction meetings, just updates on where things are in the process. And it is moving along relatively smoothly. And then the CalShape AB 841 program, there was 14 sites district-wide that qualified. And again, what that entailed was one portion for assessments, and that is a full detailed assessment of every HVAC unit. And then secondly, for one round of filters district-wide at those 14 sites. And then monies for CO2 monitors, which are essentially controls as well. And so that was all procured under the 4217 procurement method, meaning that there will be measurement and verification as well as energy reporting reported back to the district. And so that entire project, in summary, will be completed. Our goal is to be completed by the end of this year. So we are staying on track and we are on track with that guideline, and we're hoping to hit that benchmark. And I think I'm feeling pretty confident that we're getting there. So this summer will be fun. So just a project update on the HVAC side and controls. On the engineering design, as I mentioned, we've completed that portion of the project. And then the material procurement, selection and procurement has gone through as well. So we've ordered materials, they're on their way. We're also, storing some controls so we can stage and get ready for the brunt of that work. And so construction start, we did do some units starting in March. So you'll see some bar units, which are the portable, mainly on the portables, units that are being replaced. That actually is underway. And as David mentioned, there is some unforeseen issues with lead times, and that's always being communicated. That is a process that we are working through, but feel confident that we will be able to receive units in time and be able to finish in the timeline allotted. And then again, that estimated completion date of the end of this year. Moving on to the CalShape program. We've gone through and completed the entire assessments at all 14 sites that were allocated. We are planning our ascent, if you will, on the CO2 monitoring installation, which will be in collaboration with a lot of those HVAC changeouts. And then the filters will also be in congruent with that time period as well. So it is focused on CalShape, where there is funding that was allocated to the district, and that funding kind of operates as essentially a reimbursable program where 50% was received up front. And then upon the completion of the program, 50% will be essentially reimbursed to the district. So that's kind of how the program has been set up by the CEC. And looking forward to the future, where the CalShape has released some information regarding future funding. So that's good news for the district, that future funding will be coming down the pipeline in the later months of this year. So I'll be back with David giving updates, just looking for funding consistently for the district we see this and view this as a true partnership. So we are always looking for areas that we can help assist from an energy and sustainability standpoint. And that's one of them, just consistently looking for funding on how we can all tackle the problems that we see and areas of concern that can be increased. So that timeline, sorry, that's a little small, but this is the timeline that we agreed upon last year, and we are staying on track. That construction start where we started back in October, being on site, and then looking forward to kind of pushing this through to substantial completion in November of this year, and then a complete wrap up in December. So that is good news that we are staying on track, and we are seeing that our process, being able to work with David and his team, has been amazing. Just consistent checkpoints, making sure we're hitting those benchmarks appropriately. And that was it for me. I just want to say thank you, as well as open it up for questions if there is any.
Thank you, board members. Do you have any questions? Go ahead.
Just a quick comment. Thank you for the project updates. It's very easy to read. And then just also thank you, because I haven't been on board that long, but from the companies that we work with, very few have looked for outside sourcing for funding. So thank you for that, for, making sure that it doesn't just always fall on the district. So I just want to say we appreciate that. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I also want to say I appreciate you all, and I would have the opportunity to serve with the middle school with the robotics program. So that was an awesome thing, and seeing how that's going to progress into the high school and just looking to consistently stay engaged. So I'll work with David, but if there is any opportunities for Pacific West to get involved with any STEM activities, we're always looking to get involved and to add value. So let me know. Thank you.
We'll have our directors get in touch with you.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to item number 14, Board of Education announcements and acknowledgements. Trustee LaFarga, can you read us off?
Sure.
I think I just want to focus my comments on a couple of things. Today, again, we heard from our teachers and community regarding safety, and it's something I think we need to wrap our arms around quickly as we're closing out this school year, and really think about having a plan of action that will be communicated on an ongoing basis and inform our parents, our teachers, us as a board, all leaders across the district about what we're doing, what's working, where our gaps are, because it's very clear that everything's not being communicated as we're kind of addressing the challenges that we have. Today was a prime example. I was not immune to having to address this with my children. My oldest son did not go to school. First time he's ever told me he's scared. And that's very difficult to address as a parent, right? So we have things that we need to do. And then we have things that we need to do to support our students, because halls were empty. They're scared, right? So there's the socio-emotional piece that's really, how do you address that with hundreds of students? I know it's not easy, but we have to figure that formula out. And so I just, it resonated with me. It's how we set a plan in place that's going to keep everyone informed. And we cannot afford to go into our next school year with the same sentiments, parents, that they don't know what to do or what we're doing or what's being done. We have to get ahead of it. So, and we need to own it. We need to own it. We know what we're doing, but it's clear that it's not getting there. So, yeah, I guess that's our challenge. I mean, I think they're holding us accountable, and we have to respond with all those concerns across the board, because there's facilities, there's a plan, there's training, there's preparedness, and then there's the emotional support of our students. So I did want to focus on that. And then I just, as we're closing out the year, I'm just looking forward to attending the celebrations and promotions and celebrating our students and their success. So thank you very much.
Trustee LaFarga, trustee Contreras.
Thank you. Just to follow up on that, also, I have three kids, my wife, my sister, they all work or go to school here in our district. So we need to do better. We can do better. I know we're as far as personnel wise, we're working hard to get more staff on. But when we get parents, teachers in here getting emotional, pleading for help, we need to do better. We need to respond to that properly. It needs to be something that needs to be done now. And we need to have a plan set for our future because it's not going to get any better anytime soon. So we need to be ready. We need to respond. Safety is a major issue for our kids and for our staff, and it needs to get better. Change the subject. I attended the art contest we had for that Linda Sanchez hosted on May the 3rd. El Rancho received tons and tons and tons of awards, got the top prize. I want to congratulate not only the students, but the teachers that put the effort in to get these students to where they're at. We saw many wonderful pictures, many wonderful drawings, many wonderful paintings. The top prize winner gets their what was it? It was a collage placed at the state capitol and entered into a contest, nationwide contest, and that will be on display for 1 year in Washington. So congratulations to all of the El Rancho students and to the teachers that helped make that possible. I visited Bernie to go look at the Alamo project, and I got a tour from Miss Anna, who works with Alamo. She got to show me break area, the students that were there. Plenty of workers were around, so I did see a response to what some of the complaints were with the program from when it started. So I do see it going in a positive way. While there, some of the teachers I walked into and I got to participate in yoga. My first time participating in a yoga session at Bernie with some of the teachers that were there, and I found it very relaxing, and was able to see that there was a sense of bonding there with the teachers. The room that was being used was half filled with some 52-inch TVs that are no longer being used. So I don't know if the other schools can use that. But there was about 15 of those TVs with the stands on them, and there's no use for them there. So I told them I would look into seeing possibly maybe some of the other schools that may need it, or if they can get recycled, because from what I understand, they got upgrades to those. I'm almost done. The ROP program, the adult programs, I guess there is a high demand for the CNA program, which from my understanding, only accepts 15 students one semester and then 15 students the next semester. Is there any way also that we can look into maybe expanding that program? If there's a waiting list, we can get that expanded, or maybe since we're going to move that program over to Alan Ochoa, if we can look into possibly getting more funding or expanding that program. I also attended the Janice Hahn press conference on May the 5th on a new start, speaking of school threat and assessments. So she's working very hard, not only in our city, but within our area, to help with some of those threat issues that are going on in our schools. So I just want to say thank you to Miss Janice Hahn for what she's doing. Senior College Day, congratulations to all the seniors that have chose to move on to college or a university. I want to congratulate each and every one of them for their hard work, and I wish them well. I attended the LAXTA meeting last night on Zoom, and I wanted to congratulate, although she's very humble, our president, Esther Mejia, she got elected to serve as director on the board for LACSA. So congratulations to her. I want to say happy Memorial Day, and I hope that we all take time to remember all of those that gave our lives for our country and allow us to live the life that we're able to live here. So thank you very much to all our veterans. And then also we can close in memory of obviously Miss Gloria Molina, which if we can get a moment of silence when we finish our meeting. Thank you very much.
Trustee Contreras, Dr. Marino.
Am I still bound by 3 minutes or we have done away with that? Just a question. Anyway, you know, I have all these comments I want to make, but I really want to start by saying that we do hear you. I want to validate your concerns, the concerns that we heard. They were so heartfelt, so painful. We take your concerns very, very, very seriously. Let us start with the comments that, you know, we heard not only from our union president, the shortage, and from the teachers, the shortage that we have with our instructional assistants for special ed. I know that Mr. Cochran and Dr. Kelson, you're doing what you can and try to go outside of the regular channels for the recruitment, but I do understand the shortage. And I myself have made some phone calls because yes, you know, we're getting calls from teachers. I myself made some phone calls to some of people I know and, you know, how are you recruiting? But, you know, it really comes down. And then we also heard about the shortage with in other positions as well. What I really believe we have here is that we need to declare a labor shortage emergency in the district, seriously. So that and this is something that, and I'm not going to go into that, but I'm just, because we all know what I hope that some of us know what a labor shortage emergency is, but this is where you go outside and real quickly, you tap into all other sources and you work with the unions closely as well, to hire as quickly as we can. But also I'm thinking maybe one suggestion that we have here is perhaps hold a job fair here in our district. I know that LACO had held a job fair and they ended up recruiting 6 teachers and some instructional assistants. So it's something that could perhaps be done as well. The safety situation, I really want to validate because I know we all felt it. I also have my grandson in the district. So it was that decision, you know, should I send them to school? But when you hear from my child, I'm scared, then you know, that's brings it to a whole different level. And I just want the community, I want parents, I want staff to know, and students, of course, that we are not complacent. We hear and our concerns. And Mr. Lafarga, I just want to also validate what you said earlier. The safety of the district falls squarely on the board. The board is responsible for the safety of staff and students. That means all staff, it falls squarely. So it is our duty to protect this. 5 members here have the responsibility, and it's true. We own it. It is within ourselves, but it's about all of us bringing together. I know there's ongoing training with the active shooting. I know that, you know, our SSOs have attended trainings as well. Our staff is being trained. More needs to be done, yes. And I know this will be a priority as we're closing up the year in terms of, you know, what we need to do next. What else can we do? We're doing a lot, but what else can we do? But it is for the board to really take charge and bring that recommendation and work with staff to make it happen. You know, way past. I will leave my other comments for my next board meeting. I just want to say that I also completed, this is important, finally completed the Leadership Academy through LACSA. And, you know, I've heard all kinds of seminars before in leadership. This is big for grade boards. So I learned new stuff, new information, not stuff, new information. And I heard many, many things that I had heard before, but it's hearing it again. It brings to light the responsibility that we have as a board to support all staff, support the superintendent, and support all of the programs. Let me close real quick. This is important. And again, congratulations to our board president for being selected. I also want to say another person that's very, very, very humble is our very own superintendent. I want to close with this. I'm very pleased to inform all of you that Dr. Villegas received a distinguished award from the School of Educational Studies, where he earned his doctorate degree, my alma mater. And Dr. Kelsons, the faculty of Claremont Graduate University selected our very own superintendent, Dr. Marco Villegas, as the 2023 recipient of the School Educational Studies Urban Leadership Alumni Achievement Award. This award, and I quote, is presented to an alumni from the Urban Leadership Program whose postdoctoral career exemplifies commitment to and success in the achievement of students in urban schools. We take great pride in your accomplishments and see this as an opportunity to showcase your good work as a School of Educational Studies alumnus, end of quote. Congratulations, Dr. Villegas. El Rancho is fortunate to have you as the instructional leader, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Moreno. Trustee Perez.
All right, so I separated it so I can not ramble, or because I tend to ramble. So again, similar to what my colleague said, just thank you for bringing it to our attention of safety. I remember being a teacher and the Sandy Hook, and just having to train students. And so yesterday when we saw the messages, I remembered as a teacher, you have to show up, you have to be there for your students. And maybe some schools do have a plan, but I think again, what someone said, the communication. So I'm excited for the safety town hall to really get that input. But more than anything, like the parent mentioned, the action, right? Making sure that we're actually acting on it, that we're getting what we need and listening to the community. So thank you for that. And also thank you to the teachers. It broke my heart when they were getting emotional because they're just asking for help. They need help. They need instructional aids. And I get that because my mom is an instructional aid for special ed class. And I can't imagine not having, especially as a teacher as well, I cannot imagine having no instructional aids in some class or limited. So if we can please make that a priority because it's so crucial. On a positive note, celebrations. I want to thank everyone for those that were recognized tonight, the employees of the year, those that are retiring, lucky, those that got recognized. I want to thank Dora for getting the resolution with the city. So the city actually, I think last week, brought the resolution of the mental health awareness. So thank you, Dora, for providing that. Thank you to your mental health department I saw all the events that we're doing this month for mental health awareness. I think that's very proactive approach. I know safety, it's a lot of reactive, but I'm glad that we're focused on the, preventative side. A huge, celebration for the CSCA for next week. I hope you guys have a lot of fun. And then I want to thank everyone involved for the college signing day. It was so awesome to see the students there because it just, especially the speaker when she was asking, who's a first gen, who so scared to go to college, and just I saw myself, especially being in our Rancho, and it was so exciting. One thing that I definitely brought to mind with where's Tony, if we can look into, there's a lot of alumni, right? We know that there's a lot of alumni in the city that went to a lot of these schools, and I know at the high school, I think there used to be an alumni directory on the site. If maybe we can take a look. As an alumni, I don't think my information. So I'm wondering if we can be more proactive about reaching out to alumni, getting their information, because maybe they can, in the future be mentors or filtering it by which alumni went to this university or, I just want to leverage the incredible alumni that we have. And then other things that I read about that I know I forwarded to Dr. Villegas. I know cybersecurity is a big thing right now, and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, they came up with this program that provides free and cheaper resources for school districts, especially because technology is everywhere and it's so easy to hack into it. So I can pass that on to you. One more thing is, I was saying, we talk about how do we brand ourselves as a district, right? How do we make sure that we get known as a positive light? I'm looking at the banners, like, that's amazing. I was looking at our California school dashboard. I know it's, with COVID, we may not have put as much attention, but if we can please start taking a look into that as well, just to see how can we up those numbers, because that's the number one thing that sometimes parents go to. And that's how sometimes they decide whether they want to go to our district or not. And then events coming up again, safety town hall that's coming up. And then I went to the Watsa, that's why I couldn't go to Lexa on Monday. They have a networking event. I'll send you the details. Taste of Rio. Rio Hondo's having a fundraiser, which is kind of cool because I kind of want to do that here. They do a fundraiser with all these lunch trucks, and all the money that they get goes to student scholarships. And so I'll give you information on that. And then they also have an opening of one of their elementaries, I believe, and I'll send you information on that. And then September 18th, which is a while back, but we're actually going to do a networking event. So everyone in the Whittier area, Pico, Montebello, every area, all the school board members to come to network to really get to know each other. And that's all.
Thank you, Trustee Perez. So I would like to start also with the safety summit. So I'm trying to encourage as many families and community members to attend. And I'd actually would like to, at the end of the meeting, request it to be a special board meeting. I remember almost a year ago, when the Uvalde tragedy happened, I requested a meeting and that didn't happen. And I want to be able to attend the meeting as a board member. And I know that sometimes, it's not a good look if you have board members attending or sitting together, but I really need the community to know that we do care. And yes, it'll be the same thing as a safety summit, but if we can, again, I'll bring that up as a future agenda item to change it into a meeting, because I really feel the community to know that we support them, and we want to listen, because there's nothing better to hear it firsthand from the people that are sharing those concerns. So that's going to be a request that I'll put for the future agenda items. And then with that, just, going back to what we've learned at AEC, we went to safety summits there, workshops. And one of the things that they had recommended was having a dashboard for the parents when you have your safety summit, and when parents bring the concerns. And I think, we have validated some of the concerns, but when there's a physical site on your website, those concerns are made, and then there's a response to it. I think that really shows that we're validating and that we're taking action on what those concerns are. So I'm hoping that we can consider that. So lots of events that we've had. I did attend the LAXTA meeting in person in Beverly Hills. They have an amazing CTE program, and I was a little bit late. I wasn't able to get all that information, but I will forward that information once I have it. Like Dr. Marino, I did complete the LAXTA Leadership Academy, which was facilitated by Stephen Covey Group. Amazing workshops that I learned a lot from. I did attend Congresswoman Linda Sanchez's art competition, which was held here at the Art Robles Center, an LEED platinum facility. Was very proud of our students. So our students, as Trustee Contreras shared, we won the top honor. Leslie Serda won the top honor. Her piece was called Mother Nature, beautiful collage. And we swept that category. We also swept photography, which shows the amazing VAPA teachers that we have here at El Rancho. So huge shout out to Mr. Zico and Mr. Diaz for their work with the students. Amazing. I'm hoping that we can recognize the students at a future board meeting. So one of the things that we had, going back to LAXTA, we did have that HEMIT unified presentation, and I will go ahead and forward that information to you. One of the things that was shared was that they do a lot of a la carte, and that it's not only partnerships with people like Think Together, but partnerships that they use within the community. So for example, if there was a volleyball team that you had to pay for it, they would recruit them to come and service our students. So volleyball, baseball academies, dance, but they would use the resources that they had at the sites. The other great resource that they highlighted was their wonderful classified staff. they were able to, talk to the labor partners, their union presidents or, or the laborers union. And they were able to do the work out of category. So that's one of a strength that they found, a strength and a resource. The other thing is that was highlighted was that, the funding stream, it's moved from, it's extended till June 30th of 2024. So that's another opportunity for us as well. They're a huge district, 25,000 students, humongous program that they have, but they said to please use them as a resource. So as I said, I will forward all that information to Dr. Villegas so he can share with cabinet. I also was able to hear the CSBA May Review webinar. COLA remains, but the arts and music program was reduced by 50%, which is a huge hit. That's a huge hit. Prop 28 art program is still remains, but this one, it's gonna hurt. Gonna hurt. And they're what is it, robbing Peter to pay Paul, because that's how you were able to keep that 8% on the COLA. Governor Newsom also has the dyslexia program that he's trying to screening resources for that. And there is a future CSBA webinar that it's going to be offered free of charge for all the school districts. Let's see, I attended along with Dr. Marina the ROP Evening of Excellence, which was amazing. We had our culinary arts student, Aiden Lucero. He was one of the speakers, and as was our Salazar student, Danica Boss, who does medical core. And it was a really nice program highlighting CTE, the CTE programs. I was able to attend the Ethnic Studies Showcase, which was a really nice event. You were able to see student essays, what they're learning, which is like eye-opening as far as like some of the segregation that took place within our own city. So it was really eye-opening, but I really enjoyed the art and the essays. Big shout out to Ms. Mata, who did an amazing job along with the other teachers. I attended the ROP CTE virtual presentation for El Rancho High School. I really appreciate that CTE is being promoted, college and career. And let's see, lastly, I want to congratulate Angel Corral, who's our track and field student. She has the school record for the 400 and she made it to CIF finals. It's hard to make it to CIF finals in track and field, so congratulations to her. I also want to congratulate the baseball team. I was able to attend that one playoff game that they won, and these kids have such big hearts and great coaching. I appreciate all that they do. Lastly, I want to wish you a restful Memorial Day weekend and just that we remember those who have fallen. And that's all. That concludes my report. Thank you for your patience. Okay. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to item number 15, comments and reports by superintendent and cabinet.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, so much is going on these days, and I as we're coming to the close of the year, just amazing things. And I think May is really a month of celebrations in so many ways. We have celebrations, from personal matters like Mother's Days and different events like that. But so many things happening at the school site, celebratory end of the year, testing is over. A lot of great things are happening, and it's been really wonderful to just see all the energy and the wonderful things that are happening in our schools. And really looking forward to continuing those celebrations, and certainly the classified employees of recognition and all those things that we see in certificated as well. One of the things I do want to encourage everyone to come to that town hall meeting on Thursday. I think we're going to have a really a good opportunity to share the commitment that we have for safety and the many things that under the direction of the board we've been able to implement this year. Things like that have been mentioned today, the Verkada cameras, the intercom systems, the See Something, Say Something campaign, which aligns very nicely with Janice Hahn's program as well. Training related to fentanyl and being really in the top of one of the first districts to have Narcan, in our schools, and having the administrators having that. And we're going to demonstrate some of the tabletop activities that we do so that people can actually see the training that happens on a regular basis here at our schools, and we'll be able to show the partnership that we have with our sheriff's department. They're going to be there, and they're going to share with us some potential ideas that we might have continuing to move forward. And I love what is said, the communication is key so that everyone is fully aware of everything that's happening. It needs to happen, and we have to continue to do better. But it's also good to recognize that there are some things, and to some degree, just in sharing, I got several phone calls from superintendents around the neighborhood this morning, early in the morning, because they were getting the same reports in their school districts, and so they knew that El Rancho had been the ones that had done a continued research and identified that this in fact was a hoax. So they knew who to call. They knew to call us. He thinks, I was talking to Dory even late last night, about 11 o'clock or so, and Tony. We were just discussing some of the matters that we needed to. And so I know that we have to do better, because safety is the most important thing for our students. But I do want to recognize the staff that really works hard to make the campuses safe, and that things are being pushed on. I know that even the facilities, they had to hear from me, we got to push these things forward, everything from the intercom systems to some of the cameras that are actually happening at really quick levels, so that we can continue to be safe. But an articulated plan that covers everything, it's comprehensive, where people know that they're safer and that we can do things. And I think we're going to learn some things on Thursday. We will hear from the lieutenant and the captain, and we'll be able to also we'll reintroduce the director of safety for the city, who's going to be attending as well. And so I'm really looking for that opportunity, and I think we'll all get a chance to come together and develop some plans. And just to say one thing in general, some of these things that we have been acting on have been a result of that first safety summit. And like you indicated, maybe it's a great, I love that idea of having a dashboard that might show progress on certain things that we've got to figure out how do we identify that. But that way people could know that some of the things, certainly not everything, but many of the things that were said, we've started implementing, and we're making progress towards that. So short update, but looking forward to continued conversations moving forward. You're welcome.
We'll go ahead and move on to item number 16, consent agenda. Board members, are there any items to be pulled? I do have one item. Item 16F41B. Item 16F41B is the one I need to pull. Okay, so we'll go, is there a motion to approve the other items?
Second.
Okay, moved by trustee Contreras, seconded by trustee Perez. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote. Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee LaFarga?
Yes.
Trustee Contreras?
Yes.
Mahia votes yes, motion carries 5-0. Okay, now we'll move on to item 16F41B. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, motion by trustee LaFarga, seconded by trustee Perez, and I will abstain from this item. Trustee LaFarga?
Calling for the vote?
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
trustee Contreras?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Motion carries 3 yes and 1 abstention. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to item number 17, new business action items. 17A, Superintendent's Office adopt resolution 53, 2022-2023 in recognition of Classified School Employee Week, May 21st through 27th, 2023. Dr. Villegas?
Yes, we're very happy to bring this resolution forward. I haven't been bashful to say that I started my educational career as a classified employee, as an instructional aide for 4 years, and really proud of that piece. And I know how important it is for classified employees to be part of our school system. Our success lies because of the work they do. So we have this resolution that I'd like to read. And so we have, whereas classified professionals provide valuable services to the schools and to students of El Rancho Unified School District. And whereas the third full week of May is designated as Classified School Employee Week in California by the California School Employees Association, CSEA, and the California Legislature by the passage of SB 1552. And whereas classified professionals contribute to the establishment and promotion of positive instructional environment, and whereas classified professionals serve a vital role in providing for the welfare and safety of El Rancho Unified School District students, and whereas classified professionals employed by the El Rancho Unified School District strive for excellence in all areas relative to the educational community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the El Rancho Unified School District hereby recognizes and wishes to honor the contributions of the classified professionals to quality education in the state of California and the El Rancho Unified School District, and declares the week of May 21st to the 27th, 2023 as Classified School Employee Week. Adopted by the El Rancho Unified School District Governing Board in Pico Rivera, California, by resolution number 53, 2022-2023 in this 16th day of May 2023.
Thank you, Dr. Villegas. Is there a motion to approve the item?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by trustee LaFarga, seconded by trustee Perez. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
I'm sorry, I had to step out. We're on 17A1.
Correct.
Okay. I just want to say, classified staff, you are the backbone of the district. You certainly are. Teachers and other staff, they do their job thanks to you. You certainly carry everyone on your shoulders. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Marino. We'll go ahead and vote. Dr. Marino?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee LaFarga?
Yes.
Trustee Contreras?
Yes.
Mejia votes yes, motion carries 5-0. Item 17A2, adopt resolution 54, 2022-2023, declaring the board member Arlene Perez was absent from the April 4th, 2023 regular board meeting in accordance with Ed Code 35120. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, moved by trustee Contreras, seconded by Dr. Marino. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote. Dr. Marino?
Yes.
Trustee LaFarga?
Yes.
Trustee Contreras?
Yes.
Mejia votes yes. Trustee Perez?
Abstain, yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 4 yes, 1 abstention. We'll go ahead and move on to item 17A3, adopt resolution number 55, 2022-2023 in recognition of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Yes,
Dr.
and
Villegas.
this one will be read by Ms. Castillo.
Thank you, Dr. Villegas. El Rancho Unified School District Resolution number 55-2022-2023 for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Whereas the state of California is home to over 700,000 Asian and Pacific Islander students from kindergarten through grade 12, and whereas the Asian American and Pacific Islander community is an inherently diverse population composed of more than 45 distinct ethnicities and more than 100 language dialects, and whereas we acknowledge the historical and cultural contributions of Asian Pacific Americans in the development of the state of California, and whereas the month of May was selected for Asian Pacific American Heritage Month because the first Japanese immigrants arrived in the United States on May 7th, 1843, and the first transcontinental railroad was completed on May 10th, 1869, with substantial contributions from Chinese immigrants. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have played a key role in American history since the first Chinese immigrants arrived to the United States in the 1850s, following the California Gold Rush. And whereas there are numerous historical Asian American and Pacific Islanders contributors to the United States, including actors, architects, athletes, artists, authors, creators, doctors, entrepreneurs, inventors, musicians, performers, political leaders, scientists, singers, writers, and so many more. And whereas we acknowledge these Americans for their contributions to government, industry and commerce, agriculture, science, literature, and the arts. And now therefore be it resolved that the El Rancho Unified School District Board of Education hereby declare May 2023 as Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month and urges all community members to join us in recognizing the contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Adopted by the El Rancho Unified School District Governing Board of Education in Pico Rivera, California, by resolution number 55, 2023 on the 16th day of May, 2023.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve item A13?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Dr. Marino, seconded by trustee LaFarga. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote. Dr. Marino,
Yes.
trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Contreras.
Yes.
Trustee LaFarga.
Yes.
Mejia votes yes, motion carries 5-0. Item 17A3, adopt resolution 55, 2023. Oops, sorry. I did that one. Item 17-4, receive for first reading and adopt revised board bylaw 9,000 role of the board. Is there a motion?
Second.
Okay, moved by trustee Contreras, seconded by trustee Perez. Is there any discussion? I just have one quick comment. I just want to share with the board that for all of these bylaws, you know, it's by the CSBA recommendations and there is access for to gamut that we all should have. And what I really like about that is it gives you the ed code and you're able to cross-reference everything, which is I'm a nerd. I like to read them, but it gives you the reference as to why. And the more you read it, the more familiar you become with it, and it's good to know. It's good governance. So I just want to share that. Thank you for that. And we'll go ahead and vote. Dr. Marino? Trustee
Yes.
Perez? Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Contreras?
Yes.
Trustee LaFarga?
Yes.
Mejia votes yes, motion carries 5-0. Item 17-5, receive for first reading and adopt revised board bylaw 9005 governance standards. Is there a motion?
Move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, moved by trustee Contreras, seconded by trustee LaFarga. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote. Trustee Dr. Marino,
Yes.
trustee Perez,
Yes.
trustee LaFarga,
Yes.
trustee Contreras.
Yes.
Mejia votes yes, motion carries 5-0. Item 17-6, receive for first reading and adopt revised board bylaw 9130 board committees. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, moved by trustee Contreras, seconded by trustee LaFarga. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote. Trustee Dr. Marino,
Yes.
trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Contreras.
Yes.
Trustee LaFarga.
Yes.
Mejia votes yes, motion carries 5-0. Item 17-7, receive for first reading and adopt revised board bylaw 9323.2 actions of the board. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Contreras, seconded by trustee Perez. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote. Trustee LaFarga,
Yes.
trustee Contreras.
Yes.
Trustee Perez,
Yes.
trustee Dr. Marino.
Yes.
Mejia votes yes, motion carries 5-0. Items 17-8, revise for first reading and adopt revised board bylaw 9324 minutes and recordings. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Contreras, seconded by trustee Perez. Is there discussion?
I just want to make a comment.
Sure.
Because I know that the secretary, they write everything down. And so I feel like that's a lot. If we can also look into like using technology to maybe somehow to alleviate the writing everything or some, I don't know, look into what other school districts are doing to take down minutes. Because nowadays the computer can record and I know it's not as accurate, but if we can look into that so that we're not having someone just physically writing the notes all the time.
That's all. Two things. One of them might believe they're doing shorthand. And also they can refer back to the recording, but I appreciate that.
We gotta use tech. Especially AI, like they like, we got it.
A little bit. Well, that and also we have to keep in mind that it's not a word by word. It's like the actions is what gets recorded.
Yeah.
The main points.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead and vote. Dr. Marino,
Yes.
trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Contreras.
Yes.
Trustee LaFarga.
Yes.
Mejia votes yes. Motion carries 5-0. Item 17-9, receive for first reading and adopt revised board bylaw 9400, board self-evaluation. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Moved by trustee Contreras, seconded by trustee Perez. Is there any discussion?
Yes. Okay, let's see. One, two, the third paragraph. It really didn't make sense to me. It just doesn't flow. So I would need clarification. It's the paragraph that begins with the board shall evaluate itself as a whole. I believe that we need to keep not as individual board members, but also, but as a group. I think that's, I don't think it is important that it's there because we're evaluating ourselves as a board, not individual.
Can you call out the line one more time, Dr. Marino, please?
I'm sorry?
17.
Oh,
No, the line.
17.
oh, third paragraph, 17.
The board.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at line 17 that we should keep not as individual board members. The second comment.
Dr. Marino, is it okay if you read it, like read the paragraph so we can see how it flows?
Well, the way it's written, it doesn't flow. That was my initial comment. Because, okay, the way I'm going to read what is not crossed out. The board shall evaluate itself as a whole. They are also expected to use. Process is an opportunity to assess and set goals for their own personal performance. I just couldn't understand what we're trying to say here. So my recommendation, it would be to evaluate not as individual board members, but as a team. And moving on to line 21. I don't know what process as an opportunity to assess and set goals for their own personal performance. I don't follow this because we're not evaluating our personal performance here. We're evaluating ourselves as a team. So my recommendation is to take it back to the drawing board and rewrite it so that it reads, we are evaluating ourselves as a board, etc. But I don't see my personal performance involved here because we're not evaluating ourselves as individuals.
If I may, so the way I read it, the board shall evaluate itself as a whole. Individual board members are also expected to use the evaluation process as an opportunity to assess and set goals for their own personal performance. I'm okay with it because I think that the whole the point of it is that yes, we evaluate ourselves as a whole, but that individual board members should assess ourselves. To me, I see this as a self-reflection. Like, so for example, I don't know, one of my goals for me would be, I want to make sure that I submit my board questions in a timely manner. That type of reflection. So it's internal reflection, not necessarily, and that's why they're crossing out like the not as individual board members. So I'm okay with the process only because the way I'm reading it is reading as a self-reflection and not that I'm evaluating myself because I'm an individual board member that has power, which I don't. It's a collective power. Any other comments on that?
I think the word expected, I mean, does that mean we have to analyze our own individual? Because the title of the evaluation is board self-evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the language is expected to, and what if we don't? As an individual.
What would your recommendation be?
No, my question is, are we expected to? Like,
I
what's
think
what's the alternative for not doing it?
you just don't, I mean, currently,
So my question is that part of a board self-evaluation versus an individual assessment of your own performance?
so the annual, it should be an annual process for the board, the self-evaluation.
Absolutely. So invoking individual expected performance evaluation.
No, we're not doing the individual. That's what I was trying to say, that it's like a reflection on your own goals as a board member. Like, for example, I could say, I would like to attend two.
I get that part, but it does read like we're expected to.
We should, if we, my opinion.
No, I understand. But I think it's a board, it's just wording for me.
Right, so
That-
what would you
President,
be your
Mr.
suggestion?
Sanchez would like to speak because we're getting into a debate.
Oh, it's a
So he may
discussion.
have something here.
Encouraged,
I think
okay,
so,
and that's
yeah.
why I was asking, what would you recommend? What's your suggestion? So encouraged. Okay,
Because it is. President saying, I think that the individual process is something that happens outside. of-
correct. Yes,
At home or on their track, back or, those types of thoughts. So 100% this is or you're evaluating yourself.
correct. Thank you. So would we be comfortable with changing the word expected to encouraged?
Right, but I'm not comfortable with this personal performance. I'm not being evaluated as an individual. So I would like for us to come to a consensus without, I know it's a discussion, but it's really, this is what I think, that's what you think. We need to come to an agreement. And if the board, according to what Mr. Sanchez just said, it's a team, it's a group, it's collaborative. You said it yourself, Madam President. I'm just not comfortable with this personal performance. Because I am a person, but I am not the individual who, to be evaluated as an individual. It's a group. So I would like that strike from.
Mr. Sanchez, could you provide clarity if the current wording is stating that we are self-evaluating as individual board members?
Saying that, and I actually kind of like the idea of adding back in. So I think I have a solution that gets you there, but so the idea is that the board shall evaluate itself as a whole and not as individual board members. I think if you put that back in, it makes it really clear that you are not evaluating each other.
Right.
Okay, and then you can just put the next, after that period, put individual board members are also encouraged to, and this is on your own time, your own thing, but not as a group. But I think, Dr. Marino, if we put that in there, it'll be very clear that you're not evaluating each other and it's only, going to be doing this other exercise. You're encouraged to do this other exercise on your own time within your, for yourself. Yeah.
Thumbs up if you're comfortable with the recommendation from legal counsel.
From what? Oh, from legal counsel? Yes. Oh, yes. Thumbs up. Yes.
Thumbs up. Okay. Did you have any more questions or comments?
Just, I know we had created the committees for the self-evaluation, so if we can maybe get an update on that at the next board meeting.
Okay, thank you.
If I may, we have committees for a whole process. So then if a committee is going to make a report, then we need committees and everything else.
Just an
For,
update.
well, no, I'm talking about, when we set committees, it was also for the handbook. It was also a committee for
Yeah.
another committee, which escapes me at this time of the day.
Governance
There's no
calendar.
dinner. Okay, the governance calendar. So if a committee is being requested for an update, which absolutely, Mr. LaFarge and I will do that, but also an update on the other committees.
Yeah.
Just to keep the process. Yeah,
Fair.
thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure about the next board meeting, maybe the subsequent meeting because of
June
meetings.
20th.
Mhm. Or if I may, if with the approval. We can move it maybe to the summer because so much is coming up as we're wrapping up the year, but maybe June 20 because we'll be done. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there's no further discussion, we'll go ahead and vote. Dr. Marino,
Yes.
trustee Perez,
Yes.
trustee La Farga,
Yes.
trustee Contreras.
Yes.
Mejia votes yes, motion carries 5-0. We'll go ahead and move on to item number 18, recommendations for future agenda items. Trustee Perez.
More information, pretty much. One of them, I know that I saw announcements that the families have to return the hotspots, I believe, that's ending. Just information like what are solutions we're doing, like are we doing hotspot locations or can we extend it? Or I'm just worried about the parents that or families that that's their only internet access. So we can just get information on that and get a second for that. A second. Thank you. And then the second one is, I think I've asked this before. I don't remember. What we do in terms of financial literacy education wise. I don't know if I've asked it already. But we can just get some information on that. I get a second for that. I'll second. And then last one, not really a request, but a follow-up to the Think Together presentation. If we can make sure to get like a survey or data once the program ends, that'd be money. That's all.
Okay, one second.
Thank you.
Any other future agenda requests?
Not an agenda item, but more information. Want to see where we're at with actually knocking off the agenda items that we keep adding. And maybe a timeline on when we'll be able to address them. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank
Okay.
Oh,
Trustee Andres?
Yes, mine is just a quick comment on the safety summit that's coming up. There's some parents that are asking why they needed to submit the questions. So in the future, we do have a safety summit. They don't have to, or they're not forced to submit questions via email. And I don't know if you're planning to have taking questions up there during but just in the future, we can make that available to our parents and the people attending.
Thank you. I only have two. One of them is informational item, status on the library grant. If we can get an update on that, those funds that were allocated for the libraries and specific, well, for all of the libraries, because we heard the needs. And I believe that all of the school sites were allocated certain amount of monies. Just status on that. And if that could be a board update, but also shared by cabinet or by yourself, Dr. Villegas, at the next meeting, that way the community also knows the status of that. And then thank you, appreciate that. And then the second one is just requesting that the Thursday be a special board meeting, completely honoring whatever the way you're setting it up. It'll be your safety summit, but like I said, I would like to attend so that the community knows that we support and we're hearing them. It's important for us to be there. I believe you might be out of town, Dr. Marino. Yes, it is live stream, correct? The safety summit.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, I know, but is it live streamed?
It would be live stream, yes, it's supposed to be live stream.
So we do.
I'm
Okay,
a
go
little
ahead.
confused, President May. So are you requesting that the safety summit be a special board meeting?
Yes.
That's a question?
Yes, that's my request.
Now, my question to Mr. Sanchez, is that a special board meeting or is it more of a study session? I don't know.
Well, I think that what the board president was, the goal was to put it in a position where you as board members could actually participate in the meeting. I think that's where you're getting at, because if it wasn't agendized as a special meeting, you all could attend and view, but you couldn't ask questions and you couldn't, converse, because that would be a meeting outside of the Brown Act requirement. And so I think it's okay to do it as a special meeting. You can run it any way you want, but it allows the board, it still has to have an agenda and, however that would be set up. Now, if you wanted to attend remotely as it being a special meeting, if you wanted to participate, okay? If you wanted to participate, we'd have to do it by way of putting, doing it through the agenda. If you just wanted to view it and not necessarily have to participate, you wouldn't have to do that. You could just watch it.
I
Just,
understand.
so that.
Thank you for the clarification. Thank you.
May I ask, I'm sorry, before you sit down. Apologize. Just clarity around attending and engaging with each other or engaging with the folks that are there. Like you said,
So for the Brown Act, if
correct.
there are sometimes community meetings,
Yeah.
or other meetings of your group, right? And so what happens is that if you're outside of like the ability to have like public comment, like let's say you go to the bond oversight committee meeting, and there are 3 other board members there, you outside of the ability for you to be able to actually give a comment, you wouldn't be able to take part in the meeting or converse with other people. If in this particular situation, if there was going to be some type of open forum to have a discussion about safety, if there were 3 or more board members present and you took part in that open discussion, that would be problematic because it wouldn't have been agendized as a special meeting. If you agendize it as a special meeting, then that's not an issue because, it's been, it's noticed, it's open, and you're noticing it anyway. So, I think it's just the formality of turning it into a special meeting and more like a workshop type of meeting where you're not really having, all the agenda items that you normally have. It'll be one larger agenda item that is this discussion about safety. So it'll look more like a workshop. You don't have to set it up like, you can treat it more like an open forum, but it is going to be agendized as a special meeting, if that's the direction.
So is a recommendation to make this Thursdays? So we can, otherwise we shouldn't attend?
No, you can, you all.
Just can't talk.
You all can attend, but you wouldn't be able to really engage.
Okay. Well, and so we went to the parent summit. And so we need clarity around that.
I would have to agree with President Mejia because there's 3 parents here. We have kids. We have the same issues. We're going to be asked questions. We're going to be there. We're going to be asked questions. So in order to be able to avoid any type of Brown Act violation, let's just make it a special
I
board.
think that would be the best practice.
I agree. And it's just for the formality issues. We're going to be there. We're going to be asked questions. Thank you.
Dr. Villegas?
Oh, just in clarification, how the public comment piece, would that be handled any differently or would it be?
You do not, in a special meeting, you only need to take public comment on an agenda. And so anything, but I don't know how it seems like the way the meeting is gonna be set up is, I don't know, the idea that it would be, you would have to allow, if it is a special meeting and the agenda item is, forum on safety, the folks should have the opportunity to at least give some comments on safety. So that would be required. You do not have to take non-agenda public comment on a special meeting.
Dr. Marino, followed by Trustee Perez.
Okay, I know it's important that the board be able to engage because as I said earlier, safety falls squarely on the board. But here's my concern, and hear me out. When you put it under a board meeting, even if it's a special board meeting, there's a different attitude from the community because then it becomes the board's meeting. And this is really a town hall forum. It's a forum where the level of participation from the community from the first one we had went very well, that it may just put the damper, excuse me, that oh, it's their meeting and not our meeting. So maybe, excuse me, the workshop kind of, so that the workshop or however else we're gonna couch it, that's my concern, that it will become then our meeting, because we know that board meetings is not a community meeting. The board meetings are the board, the meetings. The board has the meetings. They're not for the community, right? Am I right?
Well, no, I mean, I think.
Yeah.
I think that there are ways to address your concerns.
Okay, I just want everybody to come out and
Yeah.
say, this is our forum where we are all going to participate. Once we put it here and we put ourselves here on the dais, it's like, okay,
But
they're
I-
running the
actually,
meeting.
That's something I would not recommend doing. So I don't recommend you being on a diet. I recommend if however you set it up, I think you should be in there with everybody else.
Yes.
So that will
At
really
different
help.
tables.
Yeah, however you set it up, I don't think you should be separate. And I think the board president will want to script out something, comments as far as the beginning of the meeting to do, however it's introduced. And maybe it is that, and maybe it's the superintendent that introduces it, that this is a town hall meeting and everybody, will have, however you want to set it up. And that even in the agenda item, I think it'll be important how it's agendized. As far as it'll say special board meeting, but whether you want it's a forum or a summit, just make sure that it's clear that this is intended to be the opportunity for there to be a discussion about things.
Special board summit, maybe.
You
Keep
have
the
to
meeting
write
out
the
of
word
it.
Special board meeting, but then you can write special board meeting in little bitty font, and then you can write summit in big font. But I think there are definitely ways to get the point across.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, how
I
it's
think
done, I'll
Trustee
second
Perez
that.
had a question.
I just,
Oh, sorry.
I'm not exactly sure, but work-wise, am I allowed to attend virtually? If it becomes, I forget what the teleconference, yeah, I forget the legalities will
Like I
change.
said, if you want to participate and it's because you're not able to, there are certain circumstances that will allow you to participate. For example, when a board member was ill, or there's other types of special circumstances. But generally, if you can't participate and you need to participate virtually, we would need to know where you're going to be, and that you would have to put that location on the agenda, and that would have to be also open to the public as well, wherever you're thinking. And so that would be the way that you could participate if you weren't able to attend in person. So it can be done, if we just have to agendize it, that you are attending remotely from, wherever you're attending, Hawaii or down the street.
My job.
Yeah, so,
Okay, thank you.
So we'll see you on Thursday is what you're saying.
me?
No.
I'm in another board meeting. So, but I can be virtual. I can be virtual as you guys.
So did I get a second?
I will second that.
Yeah.
Okay,
One. I just like to, not so much a future agenda item, but to maybe host a job fair and see, hopefully we'll be able to recruit staff, not staff, we'll be able to recruit, I just want to say, El Rancho's hiring. So I'm not sure if that's an agenda item. Future agenda item, I'm just
Or
proposing.
maybe
a job
request
fair, a
information on a-
Request, I don't know. I don't even know request information. I'm just proposing a job fair.
Just, it did, the comment, Montebello had a community event at the Montebello Mall because a lot of people are shopping, especially around Mother's Day. So we can also maybe look into like the town center, like places where people already are at, that we can, I know we did the farmer's market one time. Oh, thank you, Works. Sorry, I was just saying Montebello did a community event at the Montebello Mall. And they had people like hiring, and because people are always shopping for Mother's Day and they're there. So maybe we can look into public places where a lot of people, shop, town center or wherever it is. That we can also, come to them, so we don't have to bring them to us, just make it easy. That was it. And I'll second hers.
Thank you.
Just a comment, quick comment on that also. I know we just did one with the Pico Rivera Chamber of Commerce, so who better than the Pico Rivera Chamber of Commerce than to host that with? A quick question on that. Did we get any positive response from having a booth there? And then for future, Pico Rivera is also having their summer nights and their Wednesdays, their farmers markets. So those are great opportunities because it's residents from here that are looking for jobs and looking to get something local. So both the summer nights out, which also gets residents from the entire area and the different cities, and the farmers markets would be some good. That's started getting some booths out there, and you let them know that we're hiring.
Dr. Rita, maybe your some information I to explore more option possibilities.
Right, especially over the summer. Yes,
I'll second that.
thank you.
With that, if we can have a moment of silence on the supervisor. Thank you. With that,
I motion.
Motion by Dr. Marino, seconded by Trustee Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carried 5-0.
Thank you. Good night.